Aston man will face multiple driving charges in court today, including driving without due care and leaving the scene of a collision after allegedly knocking down two pedestrians in a Gola shopping centre car park late yesterday afternoon. A 14-year-old boy and 43-year-old woman were both taken to hospital by ambulance with non-life-threatening injuries. Witnesses telling police the man's Volkswagen collided with three cars in the car park before knocking down the two pedestrians in Centenary Lane. Police went to a Lewiston address where they found the vehicle and arrested the alleged driver at about 6:30 last night. More than a dozen women and children with alleged links to the Islamic State have now arrived in Australia. Three of the so-called ISIL brides have returned from Syria and now in police custody. One of them charged with entering a declared conflict zone and joining ISIS. Today, reporter Sarah Stewart says the 32-year-old is due in a Sydney court today.
It will be alleged in court that this 32-year-old woman left Australia in 2015. She went over to Syria to join her husband, who had previously fled Australia to join ISIS.
The World Health Organization says the outbreak of Hanta virus on board a cruise ship is a very different situation to the start of the COVID pandemic. 3 people have died, 5 others have fallen ill. Health officials believing it's a strain which spreads human to human. Dr. Abdirahman Mahum said it appears similar to an outbreak in 2018 and poses a low risk of causing a broader outbreak.
With the experience our member states have and the actions they have taken, we believe that this will not lead to subsequent chain of transmission.
Aussie women are more likely to report stress in everyday life than men. More from Gabrielle Hodson.
Latest figures from the Bureau of Statistics show 38% of female respondents say they feel rushed for time compared to 30% of men. Across the entire population, News Corp says more than 34% of Australians feel stressed for time, down slightly on 2020, but way down on the 40% reported in 2019. When it comes to overall life satisfaction, the average mark out of 10 was 7.1. Again, that's similar to the figure in the middle of the pandemic, but it's down on 2019 when the average score was 7.5. The ABS says women tend to describe having higher life satisfaction at 7.3 compared to 7.1 for men.
Thousands of Australians will spend today raising money for Do It for Dolly Day, ensuring bullying support services are available nationwide. The event held in memory of Dolly Everett, who passed away at 14 following ongoing bullying at school. Dolly's Dream co-founder Kate Everett says bullying is still too prolific.
1 in 4 Australian kids report being either bullied face-to-face or cyber-bullied, and that's in years 4 to 9. So
legendary broadcaster and environmentalist Sir David Attenborough says he's been overwhelmed with messages celebrating his 100th birthday. A special concert to mark the occasion to be held at the Royal Albert Hall in London. Sir David says the well-wishers have come from far and wide.
From preschool groups to care home residents and countless individuals and families of all ages. I simply can't reply to each of you all separately, but I would like to thank you all most sincerely.
Turning to FiveAA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Maddie. A stunning final quarter effort from star ruckman Luke Jackson has guided Fremantle to a 15-point win over Hawthorn last night in Perth. The Dockers were trailing by 22 points midway through the third term before they fought back to record their 8th straight win. Hawks coach Sam Mitchell says they simply weren't good enough.
Got what we wanted for the majority of the game, and then late we played into their hands with a bit of the way we played, and some of their good players stood up. I think Jackson had 8 score involvements in the last quarter. I think Reid had 6 touches, 6 score involvements. So when you let their best players get on top, we couldn't win. I think it was 0-6 centre bounce, so we just couldn't get any field position, any composure on the ball, and they deserved to win.
Meantime, Porter's made just the one change for tonight's clash at home against the Bulldogs, with Jack Watkins coming in for Todd Marshall, who's been dropped. And the Crows welcome back captain Jordan Dawson into their squad for Sunday's match against Richmond. That squad will be trimmed a little later this afternoon. Well, Aston Villa has a huge chance to progress to the Europa League final, currently leading fellow EPL side Nottingham Forest 2-0 in the second leg of their semi-final tie. Villa now leads 2-1 on aggregate. The second goal, a penalty just shy of the hour mark, which sent the home fans wild.
Villa Park holds its breath. 2-1! Aston Villa ahead in the semi-final for the first
Audio there thanks to Stan Sport. In the other semi-final, Freiburg is also leading 2-0 against SC Braga. That means they're now leading 3-2 on aggregate. And in some cricket to finish, Aussie Mitch Marsh has blasted a stunning century, making 111 from only 56 balls. That was as his luck now. Super Giants won by just 6 runs. And that's the FiveAA Sport.
Thanks, Rennie. Now, FiveAA's forecast, a shower or two today, 19. Same tomorrow, cloudy Sunday for Mother's Day, 19 and 20 on Monday. Currently, it is 14. FiveAA, always Adelaide.
Get a triple points boost on every shop in-store at Woolworths. Just boost the offer in the Everyday Rewards app before you shop and see your points take off. Offer available in-store only. Ends May 19. Only at Woolworths. T's and C's apply.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot.
You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Auctions remain one of the strongest ways to sell in Adelaide, with buyer demand continuing to outpace supply and competition driving results.
Toop and Toop consistently deliver auction clearance rates above the state average, with more suburb records than any other South Aussie real estate agency. And that success comes down to strategy, experience and having South Australia's most awarded auctioneering team behind them.
From College Park and Nord to West Beach and Brompton and through to Mount Barker, Parracombe and St Peters, they're proud to deliver standout results right across the state.
That's right. With over 40 years' experience, Toop and Toop know how to maximise your outcome. Head to toop.com.au to see how they can help you get the best result.
Over 60% already gone. Get your tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery now. Win the $4.3 million grand prize, a fully furnished Scott Salisbury home in West Beach, including $100,000 cash. Our last lottery sold out early and tickets are already over 60% sold. Get yours now. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. homelottery.com.au.
Licence M14944. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, there are some car clearances where we stop setting the price and start cutting the price. That moment is now. At Mawson Lakes Mazda's used car mega event, we're overstocked, so the prices have dropped even lower. All cars are quality checked with finance available and ready to drive away today. Today. We're serious. Once the cars are gone, these ads stop playing. So today could be your final chance. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Pack the bag, we're going.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
Live from Hindmarsh Square, it's FiveAA Breakfast. David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
6:09, good morning to you. The best 3 words in the English language. Welcome to Friday. Coming up on FiveAA Breakfast this morning. Sometimes you go out to cover the news. Sometimes the news comes to you. Seven's Sunrise reporter and our colleague here at FiveAA, Jonathan Edwards, on the early shift this morning, driving out to a job, stumbled upon an extraordinary scene. You're going to want to be on the YouTube live stream for this and tuning in. We'll chat with him very, very shortly about what he saw driving around Adelaide in the wee hours this morning. Also then, after 6:30, we're going to do a bit of a global health check-in with Deakin University's distinguished professor and chair in epidemiology, Catherine Bennett. Measles rampant across the world at the moment. There are concerns about, we just about eradicated this thing in Australia. So what if it comes here? How exposed are we? How likely is that to happen? We'll get into that. Also, the latest on the Hanta virus, the Andes strain of this virus that was on this ship that has spread to other places. What level of concern does an epidemiologist have about this? We'll find out after 6:30. Michael Smith will join us. We'll jump in the time machine and flashback with Michael. After 7, are you excited, folks, about the Australian Golf Open, the Australian Golf Championships, I should say, both the men's and women's, coming to Adelaide, secured to shore up the redevelopment of the North Adelaide Golf Course. We're going to be hosting it a couple of times over the next few years. We'll talk federal politics for the last time ahead of the federal budget next week. And, of course, it is Meat Tray Friday on what will be the final time we speak before we celebrate our mums on Sunday morning. And so we've got a mother's themed meat tray, thanks to Gramazio Foods, SA's only celiac certified butcher, Burnside Village, Golden Grove Village, and online at gramazziofoods.com.au. We'd love to know something your mother taught you, a great piece of advice you received from your mother. Tell us something your mother taught you. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, listeners. Mine, mum. Something mum taught you. Well, it's so hard because your mum teaches you everything if you think about it. Your mum and your dad, but... Oh, no, your mum, I think, uniquely, your mum probably teaches you more things than your dad. Because historically, your mum has been more hands-on.
Yeah.
I think also there's just this sort of natural gravity, particularly sons and mothers have I don't know, sometimes it feels to me like, and I'm not basing this on anything within our own family, but sometimes it feels to me that the son's bond with the mum is stronger and the daughter's bond with the dad can be stronger.
You hear people say that.
Yeah. They teach us how to read. They teach us how to walk. They teach us how to talk. They teach us how to wash and clean ourselves. Like every single marker of your life, your mum's there, isn't she?
Absolutely. I made a little list.
Okay. You kick it off.
Don't put your feet on the table. Don't kiss over an open doorway. Your father's an idiot. That's not how you pack a dishwasher. Time is an abstract concept. My mother taught me, I think, pretty much the place I fall, my sort of moralistic compass of the world is entirely based on my mother's view of the world. The more I think about it.
Yeah.
My mother, certainly for the time she was growing up and the period she lived in, an incredibly progressive woman with regard to how she treated other people. And she was always keen to impress upon us where people are from, what religion they are. You know, she's from a very Catholic family, but always said, hey, that's us. We don't judge other people because they don't have the same beliefs. Doesn't mean they're any worse people. We don't judge people who politically are different because they don't believe the same as us. They could still be really good people. And she had that view of sexuality and race and all these sorts of things that she was always and this was entirely based on her upbringing, growing up in a really multicultural part of Western Sydney, in a really poor place, and not judging people or being unfair on people who have grown up with nothing. She grew up with absolutely nothing.
Daughter of Polish refugees.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yep.
Grew up in Canley Vale.
In Western Sydney.
A lot of people call Vietnamatta in Sydney. It's like living in the middle of the most Vietnamese part of Adelaide. Maybe, I don't know, like what's that, Mansfield Park?
Yeah.
Or it's like it's totally.
I remember going to visit my butcher there, and it would be. My memories of it is sort of as poor a part of a suburban Australia as you can get.
Yeah.
You know, as far as major city suburbs go, I'm not talking about out in the wilderness and so forth. But it was just her perspective has been very much shaped by that, and she was always keen to impress on us kids because they'd have to survive. People would live at their house. They would share the back room basically, or have people that would come into the country and live there, and just had this remarkable varied upbringing with, you know. They were Polish refugees, and for 2 years they had Germans living out the back that had come here after the war. They had people from all sorts of different walks of life, and I think about it. It was never obvious to me as a kid. These were just the lessons your mother taught you. But as you get older, you go, okay, I see you're a function of that, and now you've made all your kids a function of that as well.
Your mum and my mum, they should actually meet, because mum's story's not that dissimilar from your mum's, because she's one of 9 kids. Grandma always lived in public housing. My grandfather did lots of different jobs. He was a butcher for a while, and with the surname Fitzner, found that product wasn't exactly marching off the shelf during World War II when he was trying to sell meat in Lamoureux, where Mum was born. But he was from Silesia. He was German.
Yeah, right.
But that's now part of Poland, I think. Or no, they're from a part of Germany that's now part of Poland.
Silesia, is actually just before the war broke out. The border shifted when when the annexation of part of Czechoslovakia happened. I think some of the borders shifted and actually became part of Poland. But the Silesians are sort of, it's their own sort of culture. The language is a little bit different. Culturally, they're in the mountains there. They do things a little bit different.
Well, obviously, my love of cooking, no one drove that more than my mum. But it's a funny story. She also taught me like resourcefulness and frugality. And it's a level of frugality that no longer really comes out of need, because Dad ended up getting a great job, a well-paid job, a senior job in science, with really good super, the old Commonwealth super, because he worked at the IMVS, he worked at Repat, worked at Flinders. So he was on a good wicket super-wise. But my mother, if she won lotto, she wouldn't throw out anything. And it's because of living for a while in Point Pass in a house that didn't have a bloody floor.
Yeah.
Like, that sort of stuff gets hardwired into you. And I regard paying people for services as buying time. I would sooner slit my own throat than iron a shirt. So I'm happy to pay someone $6 per shirt to iron the shirt, because I can afford it and I think it's a good job for them. And for me, I park the car on the side of Unley Road running, g'day Tran, here's the shirts, thanks a lot, I'll see you soon, see you Friday. Bang, done. I only do it like once every 6 weeks. Mum will look at me when she sees those shirts.
Like you're burning money.
Go, why the hell did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't be bothered. But the ultimate mum moment that blended frugality and cooking, she made a gourmet fruitcake once and the whole thing burnt. And it's the only time I've ever heard her swear badly. She's getting out of the oven. She's like going, come on, just tapping the tin. Oh, it's a bit stuck. Come on. And then I won't repeat what she said, because her ears will be burning. The top half of the cake falls out. The rest of it's just stuck to the base. But there's probably $30 worth of Brazil nuts, macadamias, everything, hazelnuts, all the glacé fruits. And she goes, bugger this. So she filled the sink and she hand-washed all the nuts.
You're kidding. Amazing.
Yeah. And she remade the cake, and you know what? It was the best version of the cake she'd ever made. We call it the twice-cooked gourmet fruitcake.
That is exceptional.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's one point of departure, because I've definitely heard my mother swear. Brent in Nailsworth, tell us something about your mum that she taught you.
Morning, Will and Dave. Yeah. I grew up in the Barossa back in the, naturally, 70s, 80s, and I remember my mum taking me to sex education classes in Uri High back in probably 77, 78. So that's probably one of the funniest things she did.
What was the 70s, I guess?
My dad sort of did his own thing, or sort of too proud to take me, basically, and I suppose, always did. My mum always did plenty of things for me, so that's the one that stands out.
That is a fantastic story, Brett. Thank you. 82230000, the Gramazio Foods meat tray this morning. Ahead of Mother's Day, we'd love you to tell us something that your mum taught you, or you can text us on 0448 08 1395, but someone who calls in will win that wonderful Gramazio Foods meat tray. We'll get to the weather, Tom Brand, and more of your Meat Tray Friday entries in just a moment.
A full bottle of LPG? That's useful. 3 bottles? Even more useful. Your first 3 bottles of LPG for $99 each with delivery from Origin? That's all kinds of useful. Sign up by 30 September, only in selected areas. Equipment fee and T's and C's apply.
Mark Boris is the mentor who keeps business strategy out of the boardroom and keeps choosing stories over spreadsheets. So keep good company with the Mentor podcast.
Kangaroo Island. It's best enjoyed exploring stunning beaches, secluded and at one with nature, reconnecting and spending quality time together. Fall in love with the great outdoors, unpretentious, unexpected, untamed. Experience Kangaroo Island unfiltered. Book your self-drive getaway now at sealink.com.au.
One blood donation can save up to 3 lives. The power's in your veins. Make the most of it and book a donation today. Lifeblood. Life is the reason.
Now, if you need to move from A to B this autumn, your best move is hiring from Budget Car and Truck Rental.
To get started, you'll need boxes and tape for storage and furniture covers to keep your possessions pristine. Well, Budget has you sorted.
Then you need the perfect set of wheels, and Budget's got them all. cars big and small, moving vans and trucks available on a standard driver's licence, plus utes, hybrids, trailers, 12 to 25-seat buses and more.
Once you've chosen a vehicle, grab Budget's blankets and a trolley to ensure the move goes smooth.
Job done easy with Budget, a family-owned business with friendly staff you can count on at multiple locations across SA.
Got something big to budge? Well, budget with a Budget rental truck. Call 13 27 27.
Finding your next Volkswagen? That part's easy. And right now, you don't have to wait. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year unlocked event is on right now. So you can jump in early and get first pick from a huge range of new and demo Volkswagens ready for delivery. Plenty of colours, plenty of options. On-site finance, next day servicing. No waiting, no missing out. End of financial year unlocked event ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
If you're handling a loved one's deceased estate, it can feel overwhelming. With Anderson's solicitors, you don't have to face it alone. Probate, letters of administration, distributing assets, even resolving disputes between beneficiaries. The Anderson's Wills and Estates team can guide you through the complexities, helping you meet all of your legal obligations. If you need help finalising an estate, contact Anderson's solicitors. Help when you need it.
FiveAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FiveAA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
22 minutes after 6. If you're nearby a internet-capable device, your TV at home or on your phone, flick YouTube on and have a look at FiveAA Breakfast because it's going to aid you to understand this extraordinary scene that our next guest happened upon in the wee hours of this morning. Jonathan Edwards on the early shift for 7's Sunrise, driving around, presumably heading off to do a cross or a story or prepare something for the morning, saw the news unfold right in front of him. Jono, we're going to play this vision. We're playing it now. You speak to it and just describe for our listeners what it is that you saw.
Well, it's certainly dramatic scenes. It was around about 20 to 4 this morning. I was driving towards our first cross for Sunrise when it absolutely all kicked off. The middle of Marion Road at West Richmond, a Holden Commodore pulled into the middle of the intersection, and I'm thinking, well, hang on, what's going on here, pal? And 3 masked and hooded offenders started piling out of a tobacco shop with boxes and boxes of equipment. Now, this situation's very much escalated in the last hour or so, and we understand that this is only one of many tobacco stores that have been hit this morning. The most concerning part, the owner and his wife were asleep at the rear of the property and were awoken to. Now, it's understood, this is yet to be confirmed by police, that he was assaulted. There are some sort of reports circling around that maybe he was stood over or held down for a period of time while the offenders made off with their loot. It's still very much a developing situation, and we are learning of other serious instances in northern suburbs, including a possible shooting. So whether or not they're linked, that is remain to be seen, but still very much a developing situation.
That vision is extraordinary, Jono. We've got it up on the live stream now, so you see these 3 blokes. They're as casual as you like, too, sauntering around. And the car parked diagonally in the middle of Marion Road, just near the Macca's there if you're heading north along Marion Road, just before you turn left to go to the airport. So just, I mean, admittedly, middle of the night, but to park diagonally across Marion Road and then saunter back and forth, what do you reckon they're pinching too? Have they got illegal smokes? Or have they got bongs? What is it?
No, this is all legal tobacco. Police have confirmed it to me. It's a mini mart, but they've tried to make off with a lot of tobacco, as much tobacco as they possibly can. Boxes have been thrown right across Marion Road as we head up to the Tapley's Hill intersection. They drove off with one of them half hanging out the car door, as well as the fact they run multiple red lights. And it was in front of a lot of witnesses. You know, this area, a lot of you would know it well. A lot of shift workers around here, a lot of people, it's a main thoroughfare, people driving to work. So it's not like it was quiet. And the behaviour, I think, is brazen as it can really get. And it's developing hour upon hour at the moment.
Wow. Geez, there's some scumbags involved in this underground industry at the moment, aren't there?
Well, that's real cowboy behaviour, that is.
So if these are legal cigarettes, you would think they're probably peddlers of illegal cigarettes who want to muscle onto their territory, or who knows. But
well, there's been I mean, that looks as though they've done that in a conspicuous as way as possible. There's no need to have blocked 2 lanes of traffic.
No.
You could have just pulled over and not created much, drawn much attention to yourself.
So I'm right, aren't I? So Marion Road is only 2 lanes wide. There's the bike lane, then there's 2 lanes on each side.
Yeah, that's right.
So they are effectively across almost 3 lanes there, aren't they?
Yeah. You couldn't have been creating more of an obstruction.
So they're on the right lane heading north, but the car's so close to the centre of the road that it's actually hanging over on the oncoming lane.
It's weird behaviour. Even beyond the sort of, you're actually just pinching tobacco out of a local mini mart. Well, we'll follow that up with police, and that looks like it'll be a developing story over the course of the morning. Extraordinary vision on the YouTube live stream, and you'll see it doubtless everywhere today, but on 7 News exclusively. Jonathan Edwards has captured that as it happened right in front of him. 26 after 6. Let's check the weather for today. The weekend and Mother's Day, 14.4 degrees outside in the city at the moment, heading for a top today of 19 degrees, maybe a little drizzle around.
Quite nice, actually, the weather.
Exactly the same tomorrow. 19 on Sunday, no rain for Mother's Day, 20 and partly cloudy on Monday, 23 Tuesday, 23 Wednesday and 23 on Thursday. But Wednesday and Thursday, 0 to 2 millimetres on Wednesday, 0 to 5 on Thursday. So we might get a little shower around the place towards the back end of next week. Tom Wren's in the FiveAA Breakfast studio. There's been a huge price drop on the new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostina Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes. Good morning to you, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. Boys, one of the games, we've had probably 4 or 5 ripping games for the season, and last night, doesn't it make a difference? We've said the difference between the best and the worst is quite extreme, but when you get 2 sort of heavyweights going toe-to-toe like that, there's nothing more exciting. And I've got to say, I was all Purple Army last night.
Oh, me too.
When Frederick kicked that second goal to seal it, you were just fist-pumping, weren't you?
Marty's brother, his final quarter was so good.
And I didn't have a dog in the fight, didn't have a scent on it, but, you know, when it's just good to watch it and enjoy it. And credit to Hawthorn, they're great to watch. Jack Gunston's unbelievable. And Nick
Watson,
I
was watching that game, what do the Crows look like with Gunston having spent the last 13 years playing for them?
Gunston's almost playing as well as he ever has.
Well, you'd think, how good would he look in a team like Brisbane? And he got up there and didn't get a kick for a year. It was weird.
You know what? I think he's profiting from the speed of ball movement that the Hawthorn have. And one-on-one, he's just able to...
Yeah, he's too smart.
And they played him... Sam Mitchell's such a good coach. He played him as a genuine, old-school full forward.
Yeah, it was like watching Jason Dunstall.
Yeah,
the way
it was
they'd set
great.
up.
It was really good.
But you're right, Tom. It was such a great game of footy.
It was a really good game of footy.
You know, the other thing, I thought it was really well umpired.
Yeah, yep, it was.
There was no clangers.
No.
They didn't really stick their beaks in too much. Mm-hmm. And it was a really free-flowing game.
It was a great game of footy. For those that didn't see it or listen to the last bits of it, this is how it finished up last night in that game.
An incredible night, an amazing finish for Fremantle. 8 wins in a row, and that is their best.
So can they win the flag, Rennie?
Yeah, they can. I think Luke Jackson, he's a unicorn. Plays forward, plays back, plays in the ruck, plays midfield. I think the one, though, that is really key for them, Hayden Young, I think is a fantastic star, but he just hasn't been able to stay healthy. If he can stay healthy with that midfield, Sarong, Brayshaw, they just do what they do. Cox down back, you know, Tracy's really good, but I think Hayden Young's the X factor.
Well, they had that result against the Crows earlier in the year. Hayden Young didn't play in that game. Yep. I remember thinking at the time, crikey.
Why is he called Tracy? It just does my head in.
Josh Tracy, yeah.
Yeah, because it's T-R-E-A-C-Y.
Yeah.
Is it an Irish thing? Is it like
Great question.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer to that.
Tracy, yeah. Now, in terms of Port and the Crows, Todd Marshall, the experiment's not working really down back. He's been dropped for tonight's match. So, look, he has come back from long-term injury. Let's hope he gets back into the side at some stage. Crows are squad, but it's lovely to see Jordan Dawson back in the side. So, not his first game back, I know, but they'll welcome him back with open arms and a big occasion. And we should give a shout-out to Paul Mark Keane as well, who lost his brother.
Bloody terrible, isn't it?
Terminal illness. So, that's very, very sad. But a big round of footy. The golf course you've spoken a lot about, boys, and it's been spoken about in the last 24 hours, but the Australian Open coming here.
I tell you what, the criticisms of the North Adelaide golf upgrade now, I think, are a bit less strong than they were.
Yes.
Like, if you're going to try to pull a rabbit out of your hat, a lot of people will say, well, hang on, we still think it's a waste of money.
So how many times have we got it?
3.
3 times.
2028. Men's and women's, I think 2028, and then 3 times before 2034.
Yeah, it's done really good numbers in the last couple of years.
Having Rory McIlroy.
I was going to say, how did it go before Rory McIlroy?
It was probably on 80s and 90s. It was huge. It's still the jewel in the crown, but recently, probably the last 10 years, it's gone through a resurgence.
Yeah, the numbers like 110,000 the last couple of years.
And this is it. I think golf, as we know, during COVID went from number 7 to number 2. Now, you're talking all rusted on golf fans, so I've got to put that disclaimer, but it's gone from number 7 to number 2 participation. So I think the popularity's exploded, but I'm all for the redevelopment anyway, because I kind of think we've got these incredible, upgrades to Adelaide Oval and other areas for people to watch sport. Why wouldn't we do something where we can get people out playing sport, where your son Jimmy and my son Xavier, they're dead keen golfers.
And don't you reckon,
Let's encourage it.
There's this rubbish idea that, golf's a sport for rich white men. Well, it is if you're a member at some la-di-da course.
Correct.
But all of my golf experiences in Adelaide have been North Adelaide, Wollonga, North Haven, Adelwallunga, the par 3 at North Adelaide's where I learnt, and the old par 3 that's not there anymore at the Pat near Marineland.
Isn't the argument, though,
it's a punters,
you can go and play there right now?
Yeah, but if
this is not a new golf course.
Yeah.
It already exists.
And I know it might be 60 or 70 bucks. I know it might be 60 or 70 bucks to play there, but take your kids bowling and it's just as much, or go to the movies, movies. But anyway, I love it. And if you want to go to a private course and pay a bit of money, then you can do that as well. So anyway, I'm all for it.
I'm just getting grumpy, aren't I? It's just happened, hasn't it?
No,
it's happened this year.
No, grumpy's good.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, ready.
Thanks, boys.
I'm thinking, hang on, what's going on here, pal?
This is FiveAA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two, 19 today with the 6:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Physio Extra for Locomat robotic technology treating stroke, cerebral palsy, brain and spinal cord injuries. Visit physioextra.com.
A man who allegedly ran down 2 pedestrians and smashed into 3 cars at Gola last night will face court today. The incident unfolded at 5:30 in the town's shopping centre car park. Police went to a Lewiston address, seizing the car and arresting a 41-year-old man. The pedestrians, a 43-year-old woman and 14-year-old boy, suffered non-life-threatening injuries. 3 ISIS brides have been arrested by police after they arrived back in the country. There were dramatic scenes at Melbourne Airport after a grandmother, her 2 adult daughters, as well as 8 children touched down after they fled a detention camp in Syria.
Some big burly, obviously, police officers came and escorted a family off the plane.
2 of the group have been arrested by federal police and are facing charges of crimes against humanity. They're due in court today. The World Health Organization expects more cases linked to a Hanta virus outbreak on a cruise ship. Passengers on board the ship are preparing to disembark and travel home on the weekend. 8 cases have been reported so far. 3 people have died. Scientists have found the unconscious brain is still capable of listening and learning. Gabrielle Hudson with more.
A study published in the journal Nature looked at 7 epileptics having brain surgery with electrodes put in the part of the brain associated with memory and learning. News Corp says the team from Baylor College of Medicine in Houston played a podcast to patients under general anaesthesia, discovering hundreds of neurons were still firing and changing the way they fired as each word was spoken. Different patterns also emerged for words linked to people or places and others to emotions, objects or actions. Scientists say unconscious people are not only following conversations, they're learning and adapting to them as well.
Treasury's forecasting inflation will hit 5% by the middle of the year. It's above the Reserve Bank's current estimate of 4.8% announced this week. Tuesday's budget expected to confirm Australians will face ongoing price pressures. Voters in the FIVEAA electorate in New South Wales are expecting to head to the polls tomorrow. A by-election called after Susan Lee quit politics following her dumping as the federal Liberal leader in February. One Nation tipped to snatch the seat from the Liberals, who've held it for 25 years. And naturalist and science communicator Sir David Attenborough celebrating his 100th birthday. The British broadcaster, known for inspiring generations of environmentalists through nature documentaries. Sydney Uni postdoctorate research fellow Paul Kennedy says Attenborough's work has touched millions.
You can't care for what you don't know or what you don't see. So being able to see the natural world, on your TV, then provide you with an appreciation of it, and therefore a need or a want to conserve it.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
With FiveAA Sport, good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Matty. Fremantle has extended its winning streak to 8 games after a 15-point victory over Hawthorn last night in Perth. Dockers coach Justin Longmuir impressed with Brennan Cox's ability to shut down Hawks spearhead Jack Gunston after his 5-goal first half.
Huge. When you allow a good team like that to transition the ball through the corridor like we did, it's so hard for a back isolated like they do with Gunston. They'll isolate him on their back. It's just impossible to stop. We took that away from him in the second half, which helped Coxie. And he was a bit more proactive with his positioning, which gave him first look at the ball. From that position, he actually came forward and made some big plays as well.
Tonight, Port Adelaide host the Bulldogs at Adelaide Oval. The Power dropping Todd Marshall for Jack Watkins. There is another game on with Brisbane hosting Carlton. Meantime, Essendon has dropped fullback Ben Mackay among mass changes for tomorrow's match against GWS. Well, Aston Villa is into the Europa League final after making a mess of Nottingham Forest 4-0 this morning. Trailing 1-0 after the first leg, Villa led 1-0 at half-time in this game before 3 second-half goals, including 2 in a few minutes from the captain John McGinn, put the result beyond doubt.
It's McGinn again, it's number 4. It's turning into a rout. Captain McGinn at the double.
Audio thanks to Stan Sport. Villa will now play against Freiburg in the final in Istanbul after they beat SC Braga 3-1. And the England cricket team is set to make a landmark appointment by naming former Australian international player Marcus North as its new national selector. And that's the FiveAA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. A shower or two for Adelaide today, 19. Same tomorrow, cloudy Sunday, 19. 20 on Monday. And currently 14. FiveAA, always Adelaide.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tyres. Who wants to go on a holiday? Dreaming of your next getaway? With Travel Auctions, the choice is yours. From powered sites for caravanners to holiday cabins, relaxing cruises and hotel escapes, there's something for everyone. And here's the best part. You bid the price you want to pay. With Travel Auctions, it's as simple as placing your bid, and if you are successful, hello holiday. Travelauctions.com.au or call 1300 656573. No hidden fees, just great deals.
So what's the plan this Mother's Day? Big lunch, having the family over. It's a lot of pressure to get it right, though.
Well, why not just make it easy with Chanellas? They've got everything covered, incredible platters and their own florist in store.
Which means that you're not scrambling around last minute and you've got fresh, professionally made flower arrangements ready to go, or you could have them delivered so they're a nice surprise for mum.
And then the food. It never disappoints, from antipasto to hot platters, sweets, ready-to-heat meals, all of it prepared lovingly and expertly by the great team at Chanellas.
So instead of juggling multiple stops, it's one place, food sorted, flowers sorted, job done. And mum gets the day she deserves. Jump onto the website or order in-store today. Chanellas, best and fresh. It's a way of life.
Every day, CommBank is trusted by over 1 million Aussie businesses. We're here to help back your goals and ready to lend a hand.
Order for James.
To find out more, search CommBank Business.
At Mawson Lakes Mazda, there are some car clearances where we stop setting the price and start cutting the price. That moment is now. At Mawson Lakes Mazda's used car mega event, we're overstocked, so the prices have dropped even lower. All cars are quality checked with finance available and ready to drive away today. Today. We're serious. Once the cars are gone, these ads stop playing. So today could be your final chance. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 7. We're going to Gramazio Foods, a meat tray to give away this morning. SA's own celiac certified butcher, Burnside Village, Golden Grove Village, and online at gramatiofoods.com.au. You're asking about Your mum's ahead of Mother's Day, a bit of advice they've given you, something they've taught you. Nice hearing about our listeners' mothers. Let's go to Rob in Somerton Park. Good morning to you, Rob.
Yeah, morning, guys. My mother made her first venture into exotic food when she bought a box of Vesta curry. Dried ingredients, she made it, and having looked at rice for the first time as a main meal as opposed to a pudding, she quickly rushed off and fried some chips and says, Rob, a meal's not a meal without a potato.
That's beautiful.
That's a rule to live by.
That is excellent, Rob. Thank you. 8223 0000 the number. Keep the stories about your mums coming in. Something they've taught you, something that a bit of advice they gave you. A lot of terrific texts. We'll make some time for those very shortly.
When curry first became a thing in Australia, I can remember eating curry as a kid. It didn't matter if mum had cooked it or around at friends' houses where they'd had their curry in the crock pot. Did you have a crock pot?
The crock pot, absolutely.
But people used to put Granny Smith apple in the curry.
Why?
That was really common.
Really?
Yeah, and sultanas as well.
Yeah, Middle Eastern curries often have sultanas in them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not a fan of it, I've got to say, but...
I know it's good in some tagines. There's a really good Moroccan dish, lamb tagine with prunes. Rabbit and prunes goes well together. It's a French dish.
Does it?
It's really good. It's a high-end dish, rabbit with prunes.
Yeah.
Recognised combination.
All right, let's have a bit of a look at a global snapshot of some of these. There's a couple of big questions knocking around at the moment with regard to one disease that we're quite familiar with and another that we're just learning something about. Let's start with measles. We've got the Deakin University's Distinguished Professor and Chair in Epidemiology, Catherine Bennett, on the line. Professor Bennett, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So measles, it seems like it's on the march around the globe. Does what's happening elsewhere present much of a threat to us here in Australia?
Yeah, absolutely. We saw in 2025 3 times the measles cases we'd normally expect to see in Australia, 3 times what we saw in 24. Most of those cases were imported, and as rates change around the world, the chances of someone becoming infected when they travel from Australia and visit other countries has really gone up. So a lot of the cases are still people who pick the virus up overseas, but we've also in Australia, like other countries, seen a gradual decline in the number of people who have measles vaccination shots when they're children and therefore are protected. It's a really effective vaccine, but if your numbers drop, the chances of someone bringing the virus back into the country and coming across someone who's susceptible because they're not vaccinated goes up. So for the first time, we're also seeing a rise in that local transmission. So someone coming home and then mixing with other people, including people who are not protected by a vaccine, and then we see local outbreaks. So it's still mainly imported cases, big outbreaks in places like Bangladesh, but a number of countries in Southeast Asia, India, other countries as well, and of course the US. We've heard about their big measles crisis, but places in Europe as well. So we're all at more risk now just because the virus can come home, but the vaccination is so effective. People who've had 2 doses, very unlikely to pick up an infection.
The 2 cases you referred to, Professor Bennett, the one in Bangladesh and the one in West Texas. The West Texas one, from what I read, started with a sort of a religious community that decided that they, or rather had long held views about what they saw as the evils of vaccines. The one in Bangladesh, again, was some batty decision by the government about suspending a certain type of vaccine. How much of this is quite simply just the sort of explosion in nonsense conspiracy theories and the ease with which they can be accessed via the internet and social media these days?
There's so much misinformation out there, unfortunately, and where you have a vaccine, like the measles vaccine, that gives 96% or better protection, it's really disheartening to have vaccine-preventable diseases now running through communities. In Bangladesh, they have had tens of thousands of cases. They have had thousands of really young children infected, too young to have actually been vaccinated anyway, and they are the ones that can become very unwell, and you have deaths associated with this disease. So it really is a concern. as you say, it's often, it was the Mennonites in Texas where their outbreak started. It's now spread across 47 counties in America, so it's now widespread. But you're right, we talk about vaccination rates and being still, about 92% in South Australia, for example, which is good. But you have pockets in the community where people who decide not to vaccinate for whatever reason, sometimes because they've heard the wrong information, sometimes for religious reasons and so on, but they're more likely to be connected to other people who've made similar choices. And so when someone brings the virus back, it's not 90% of everyone they meet who's going to be vaccinated. It might be 30% of the people in their circle who are vaccinated, so many more susceptible people.
Yeah, right.
Because people tend to network with people who have similar views.
What about Hanta virus, Professor Bennett? I think for most people, we've never said the word before until this week with this awful situation on the cruise ship. 3 people died as a result of connection with this rodent-borne virus that's now spread to other places. There's headlines overnight of an air hostess in the Netherlands with a connection to someone who was on board. We know people may have come back to Australia. What level of concern do you have about this spreading as from the perspective of an epidemiologist? Is this a potential pandemic, or can we be reassured that it won't be?
Oh, they're watching it very closely. The word from the World Health Organization is it's very low risk still for the rest of the world. Some of the cases that they're monitoring, people who were on a flight with someone who'd got on board, was too unwell to travel, turned out to have the hantavirus and came off the plane, they're the people they're monitoring. One of those people did become unwell. But so far we haven't had those secondary cases in the exposed people. The initial symptoms are flu-like, so that's the trouble, trying to sort out what might be an infection. But it's actually quite hard to pass and unusual for it to pass person to person. But that seems to be what's happened in this case. It was a husband and wife initially. They believe they might have been exposed whilst bird watching before they got on the cruise ship. The doctor who treated them became unwell, but it really does take quite close contact. And so at this stage, we've now had a rolling outbreak that's gone on for nearly 6 weeks since this person would have boarded and slowly becoming infectious. And thankfully, to date, we only have those 8 suspected or confirmed cases, but absolutely they need to watch it. But it's not the same risk of, someone being on a plane and everyone being at risk. It'd be quite unusual to see people who had more casual contact to be considered high risk. And so at the moment, everyone who's been in close contact will be followed to make sure that they're not a risk to other people around them or when they do travel home.
Yeah, well, people really need to listen to people like you more on this, Professor Bennett, because if there's a sentence that sets my teeth on edge, it's hearing people go, I like to do my own research. And it's like, well, can you please show me your PhD and explain why you know more about vaccinations than Professor Catherine Bennett? Thank you for joining us this morning, and we'll talk to you again, hopefully.
All right, let's head to the Weather Bureau. Michael Efron is on duty. Michael, just take us through the weekend forecast, if you will.
Good morning. Yeah, pretty cloudy today with a light shower or two around up to 19 degrees. And then for the weekend, Saturday, pretty similar, just a slight chance of a shower, a low of 11, a top of 19 degrees. Sunday, mostly dry. The clouds should break up a little bit into the afternoon, but once again, looking at a top of 19 degrees.
Good stuff, Michael. Thank you for that. Michael Efron from the Weather Bureau. It's quite nice, actually, outside now. It's clearly very dark.
As long as it's not windy, it's fine.
Yeah. It was a very still night last night.
All right, let's head to the Say Poll. Senior Constable Matt Brown joins us. We catch you unawares there, Matt.
No, all good, guys. How you going?
Yeah, good. Thank you, Matt.
Clearing the throat before we go.
I see.
Stuff,
you're a professional. There's been a break-in at West Richmond, Matt. We saw some pretty extraordinary vision of this a short time ago.
That's right. About 3:40 a.m. today, police were called to the store on Marion Road after reports that a group of men had forced their way into the store and assaulted a man inside the property. The 3 suspects then stole a large amount of cigarettes and tobacco products before fleeing the scene in a white Holden sedan with a registration of S259BZY. Now, the victim suffered minor injuries, and police are investigating links between this incident and another break-in at Blair Athol just before 4:30 a.m. today. Police and fire crews were called to a business premises on Prospect Road after reports of a break-in. Now, there was no one inside the shop at the time and no reports of any injuries, and so both matters are currently being investigated by Western District detectives. So anyone who saw suspicious activity or any vehicles near the premises in the early hours of this morning is asked to call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
It's been a busy night, Matt. There's also been a suspicious car fire at FIVEAA.
That's right. This one a couple of hours ago, just after 5 a.m, police and fire crews were called to Wingate Road after reports of a Nissan station wagon on fire. Now, fire crews were quickly in attendance and extinguished the blaze. However, the car was destroyed. And checks on the car showed that it had been stolen from an address at Mile End on Wednesday, the 22nd of April. Now, crime scene officers will be in attendance later this morning to determine the cause of the blaze. And once again, anyone who may have witnessed suspicious activity in the area is asked to call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
And just lastly, Matt, a driver's been arrested after a hit run at Gola.
Yeah, this one was a bit of a scary one from yesterday afternoon. About 5:40 p.m, police and ambulance crews were called to Commercial Lane in Gola after reports that a car had been involved in multiple collisions in the car park. Now, it was reported that 3 cars were hit in the car park by a Volkswagen sedan, which then also collided with 2 pedestrians in Centenary Lane. And the Volkswagen didn't stop and fled the scene, and a 14-year-old boy and 43-year-old woman were both taken to hospital by ambulance. And thankfully, their injuries are not believed to be life-threatening. And following investigations, police attended the Lewiston address where they located the vehicle and the driver about 6:30 p.m. last night. Now, the 41-year-old Lewiston man is charged with numerous offences, including driving without due care and leaving the scene of a collision. He's expected to appear in court this morning.
Well done, Matt. Valiantly soldiering on there with a clear frog in the throat.
Did a wonderful job, did Matt. And so did Sapol. Well, that is a seriously busy night of events. A couple of break-ins, suspicious car fire, hit and run, a big night. Lots to talk about news-wise over the course of the day. Let's check traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Louva House.
Morning, guys. Yeah, got a crash to watch out for this morning in Anglevale Road near Heaslip Road, and in Hillier, Wingate Road near Anglevale Road. Watch out for works today in Kent Town, to Kettlewood Terrace near Little Rundle Street, and in Port Adelaide, Grand Trunkway near Eastern Parade, affecting traffic in both directions. Cameras today, One Tree Hill Road, Golden Grove, and Victoria Road, Largs Bay. SANE has helped people navigate complex mental health for 40 years. If you or someone you care for needs free information, recovery support, or community connection, visit sane.org today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
For over 40 years, Nature Foundation has been conserving, restoring and protecting South Australian landscapes, flora and fauna to ensure the survival for future generations like mine. And you can help. Join, donate, volunteer or simply learn more and support their work. Find out how you can be part of the change at naturefoundation.org.au. Thank you.
On Booking.com, it's easy to book your holiday home. So if you're bored of this...
Guys, found an apartment. The price just jumped up.
With us, there's no hidden fees. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
If you're thinking of building or renovating your kitchen, you have a lot of choices to make. But the first choice should be Smeg. We have an amazing Smeg showroom right here in Adelaide. Deputy Distributors in Dudley Park. And inside you'll find the full Smeg range on display.
What a range it is. And I've got to say, these people are so good to deal with. Steve and Rebecca. Rebecca was amazing. I just got a cooktop and a new dishwasher, both installed on the same day. And the deliveries arrived in record time. Smeg products, just superb. Smeg seamlessly pairs powerful performance with architectural design. And the good thing is the level of service you get from Debney, like when I bought an oven years ago, just the basic entry-level Smeg oven, you get to go to a cooking class to work out how to use it. And they last forever. Smeg's been proudly made in Italy since 1948. Technology with style. Visit the Smeg showroom today at Debney Distributors, Harrison Road, Dudley Park.
How many times a day do you experience hand or wrist pain? If simple things like cooking, holding a cup of tea or coffee, and recreational activities are giving you pain, do something about it. At Grip Surgery, we specialise in hand trauma, carpal tunnel syndrome, osteoarthritis, joint replacement, sports injuries, nerve pain, and more. To get a grip on the life you loved before, free from hand pain, visit gripsurgery.com.au. That's gripsurgery.com.au.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
Five minutes to 7. In a moment, we're going to go. Should we do a couple of Metro Friday texts actually before Michael Smith? I think there's been a few sitting there that probably deserve our attention and entry into winning the meat tray thanks to the wonderful people at Gramazio Foods.
I love this one from our good mate Rob. Normally I'm a bit of a joker, but thinking of Mum, strength and resilience come to mind. I was a teen when Dad fell ill. Mum nursed him at home until he passed. She didn't complain once, just got on with it, and has lived her best life ever since. She's 85 now, still jumps in the car and drives the length of Tassie on a whim. When someone passes, people gather round, but there comes a point where they need to get back to their lives, and about 3 months after Dad passed was the hardest, but she made it through and has lived a great life, inspiring us all. Thanks for that, Rob. And then Jared says, sadly, I lost my mum back in 2004 after a long battle with cancer. One thing she'd always say was manners don't cost a thing. She always used to say, don't judge anyone until you've walked a mile in their shoes, but then you're a mile away and you also have their shoes. Happy Mother's Day to all.
Keep them coming through. 8223 go into a meat tray. Something your mother taught you, a lesson, a skill, some advice, whatever it may well have been. It can help win you a meat tray on this pre-Mother's Day Meat Tray Friday.
It's time to Flashback with Michael Smith.
7 News Flashback segment from 6 o'clock, Sunday nights on 7. Michael, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will and David. We have an explosive edition of Flashback for you this week, and I mean that quite literally. We're going back to 1993 and what was an otherwise normal, quiet Saturday afternoon on Brighton Road. Quiet until a fuel tanker laden with 45,000 litres of petrol and diesel exploded in the forecourt of the Ampol at North Brighton. This was an absolutely massive fire. It generated something like 1,000 degrees of radiant heat. Bus shelters melted. Stobie poles buckled over. The fence across the road in a house caught fire. Gardens died. The fire was so intense that the local MFS crews actually had to get backup from the airport. Specialist firefighters there trained to deal with a plane crash emergency and the sort of fuel load that would be involved in that. There was a family called the Kellers who lived directly opposite the Ampol there on Brighton Road. Chris Keller was at home that afternoon looking after her sons and one of their mates from down the road when this thing went up. And talk about instant terror. She had to escape over the back fence with the young lads to safety, not knowing what was going to happen to her home. Hers was the house where the fence caught on fire. All of the front garden died as a result of the radiant heat. We'll hear from Chris in just a second, but first have a listen to this report from Susan Harrington.
Firefighters say the tanker held 45,000 litres of petrol and diesel. Witnesses say there were half a dozen explosions as each compartment in the tank blew up, and the intense heat buckled poles and a bus shelter.
When I saw the smoke, I knew something big had gone on over the road. Just ran for our lives, really, and it was so hot. Couldn't remember it being so hot, and I kept thinking, the birds in the front yard are going to die. I thought, this is it, our house is going.
Fortunately, their house didn't go up in the flames. One of the real concerns that day was they had one of those large torpedo-shaped LPG cylinders on the forecourt of the service station. Had that gone up, the result could have been even worse. Incredibly, no one died that day. A lot of people took shelter in the kiosk at the service station to escape the heat. The Kellers were compensated at the end of it all. They got $500 to replace their plants.
That's all they got.
That's all they got after that extreme day of trauma and losing their fence in their garden. Yeah,
wow.
The pictures are extraordinary. And listening to Chris's first-hand account, you can't imagine how terrifying that must have been, being at home with some young kids, seeing this thing across the road go up, flames as high as the sky.
I wonder if there's still a servo in that same spot.
There is, David. In fact, the service station remarkably reopened 48 hours later. The whole canopy had to be rebuilt subsequently, but there's still an Ampol there at North Brighton. The Kellers don't live across the road anymore, but the servo is still there.
Unbelievable.
Incredible.
Yeah, what a flashback.
I can't remember that at all, somehow. How weird.
The height of that fireball is just Unbelievable. That's going to be must-see on Sunday night. Thank you, Michael. 7 News Flashback, Sunday nights from 6 o'clock. We might squeeze in a Meat Tray Friday call just before we get to 5AA News. Heather in Westlakes, tell us about your mum.
Oh, good morning, David and Will. Because I was the firstborn and my mother had an old Singer sewing machine, she taught me how to sew. And that has been invaluable over the next 50 years. What she did was she tore a bed sheet in half down the middle where it was worn, and she would reverse the sides into the centre. She taught me how to sew, just straight stitching to sew that sheet up and hem the edges, and that was how frugal she was. That's how you put a fresh sheet on the bed that wasn't worn.
That's a great call, Heather. I think for a lot of people, that's a dying skill, like knowing how to darn a sock.
That is excellent.
Who darns their socks anymore? You just go to Big W and buy another 6-pack, don't you? 7-pack.
That's fantastic. Heather, terrific entry for the meat tray. You are in the running to win that Gramazio Foods meat tray that will be given away by 9 o'clock. Stick around after 7. Does getting the Australian Open Golf Championships validate the decision to upgrade the North Adelaide Golf Course? What are we getting in the championships? We'll learn a bit more about it with an expert in just a moment.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FiveAA on Facebook or YouTube.
The news and information that matters. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two at 19 with the 7 o'clock news. Good morning. I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Physio Extra offers Locomat and Armio robotic technology services at their Marion and Eastwood clinics. PhysioExtra.com.
Police are investigating a break-in and theft at a supermarket in West Richmond overnight at around 3:40 this morning. Police were called to the store on Marion Road. A group of men forcing their way in, assaulting the business owner inside. He suffered minor injuries. The suspect stole a large amount of cigarettes and tobacco before fleeing the scene in a white Holden sedan registered S259BZY. 5AA and 7 reporter Jono Edwards stumbled into the crime scene.
A Holden Commodore pulled into the middle of the intersection, and I'm thinking, well, hang on, what's going on here, pal? And 3 masked and hooded offenders started piling out of a tobacco shop with boxes and boxes of equipment. Now, this situation's very much escalated in the last hour or so, and we understand that this is only one of many tobacco stores that have been hit.
Police are investigating another business break-in at Blair Athol 50 minutes later. A 41-year-old Lewiston man will face multiple driving charges today, including driving without due care, leaving the scene of a collision after allegedly knocking down 2 pedestrians in a Gola shopping centre car park. A 14-year-old boy and 43-year-old woman, both taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Witnesses telling police the man's Volkswagen collided with 3 cars in the car park before knocking down the 2 in Centenary Lane. Senior Constable Matt Brown says the man was arrested shortly after.
Following investigations, police attended the Lewiston address where they located the vehicle and the driver about 6:30 p.m. last night. Now, the 41-year-old Lewiston man is charged with numerous offences, including driving without due care and leaving the scene of a collision. He's expected to appear in court this morning.
Police are investigating a car fire at Hillier at 5 o'clock. Police and fire crews called to Wingate Road, a Nissan station wagon on fire. Fire crews extinguished the blaze. The car was destroyed. Checks showed it had been stolen from an address at Mile End on Wednesday, April 22. A woman arrested at Sydney Airport after returning from Syria is now facing criminal charges. Federal police say she's been charged with entering a conflict zone and joining ISIS and is alleged to have travelled to the country in 2015 to join her husband, who joined the terror group. 2 women who arrived with children in Melbourne have also been arrested. AFP Assistant Commissioner Stephen Nutt says officials have been methodically investigating any Australian who went overseas to declare conflict areas.
Operational planning for these matters started in 2015 and was later formalised under a coordination operation codenamed Couragon.
A Queensland toddler is fighting for life following a dog attack in the Gold Coast hinterland. The 2-year-old girl sustained significant neck injuries during the incident at a home just after 5 o'clock yesterday. She was rushed to hospital in a critical condition. Police and the local council are investigating. So David Attenborough has released a video thanking everyone who sent him a message for his 100th birthday. The broadcasting legend and environmentalist first joined the BBC back in 1952.
I had rather thought that I would celebrate my 100th birthday quietly, but it seems that many of you have had other ideas. I've been completely overwhelmed by birthday greetings.
Turning to FiveAA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Matty. Fremantle are firming as one of the flag fancies following last night's brilliant come-from-behind win against Hawthorn at Optus Stadium. The Dockers trailed by 22 points in the third quarter, but stormed home to win by 15 points to record an 8th straight win. Port Adelaide will host the Bulldogs tonight and have made one change to their side with Jack Watkins coming in for Todd Marshall, who's been dropped. And there's one other game on with Brisbane hosting Carlton at the Gabba. The Crows will take on Richmond at the MCG on Sunday. It's been a difficult month for captain Jordan Dawson, and assistant coach Mick Godden told Rowie and Timmy G it's great to have him back.
Obviously been through a lot and will continue to deal with a lot, but nice to have him out at training this week and have his smiling face around, and it's been a very difficult time. But we're happy to have him back out playing for us.
To soccer, Adelaide United will head to Auckland today ahead of tomorrow's huge A-League semi-final clash against Auckland. Meantime, Aston Villa will meet Freiburg in the Europa League final after both recorded wins in their semis this morning. One game in the NRL overnight, the Dolphins destroying the Bulldogs 44 points to 12. In some tennis, Aussie Maya Joint has been knocked out of the Italian Open, but better news for fellow Aussie Alexi Poprin. He had a straight sets win against Italian Matteo Berrettini. And in some basketball, the New York Knicks have taken a 2-0 series lead against the Philadelphia 76ers after a tight 108 to 102 point winning game 2 of their best of 7 series. The San Antonio Spurs have levelled their series at 1 game apiece after thumping the Minnesota Timberwolves 133 to 95. And that's the FiveAA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Checking the roads around Adelaide this morning.
And good morning. We are accident and breakdown free at the moment, which is good news. Look out for works today, though, in Somerton Park, Brighton Road near Ilga Road. Speeds down to 40 k's in both directions there. And in Parafield Gardens, Kings Road near Lakeview Drive. Check your speeds today, One Tree Hill Road, Golden Grove, and Victoria Road in Largs Bay. Kmart's your destination for low prices on essential items you need and love, from home, fashion and lifestyle to fun favourites for the whole family. Shop in-store, online and via the Kmart app. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
A shower or two today for Adelaide, 19. Same tomorrow, cloudy Sunday, 19 and 20 on Monday. Currently 15, 5AA, always Adelaide.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
And I'm thinking, well, hang on, what's going on here, pal?
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into 1 and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
8 after 7, good morning to you. Welcome to Friday. Your alarm has not gone off at the wrong time. It is just dark outside at the moment. It looks bleak. It's not going to be particularly. It's going to be a reasonable sort of early May kind of weekend for Mother's Day.
It's not cold.
It's not cold. It's not windy. It's not particularly wet.
T-shirt and flanny weather.
Don't judge this weather book by its cover, is what we're saying. Might be a bit of advice you got from your mum.
Say that, Will.
If she just made up some entirely wasteful piece of advice.
So you reckon the golf's still a bad spend?
Hang on, before we get to that, let me just invite our people to talk about the meat tray. Thanks to Grazio Foods, SA's only celiac certified butcher, Burnside Village, Golden Grove Village, and online at gramaziofoods.com.au. The meat tray, we would love you to tell us a bit of advice your mother gave you, or indeed a skill maybe she taught you. Something about your mum puts you in the running to win the meat tray this morning.
Or a quality that you inherited from your mum.
Yeah, that's a nice way of phrasing it as well. Yeah. That's a nice way of phrasing it. Do I think North Adelaide Golf Course Yeah, I do. Yep. Absolutely, I do. I think getting the Australian Open is fantastic. It's a great event. If you get someone like Rory McIlroy there, you get 110,000 people coming to it, which is fantastic.
So are you saying, well, why not just hold it at Kooyonga or Grange or Glenelg?
It feels like this is like...
But are those courses long enough? Don't they need to be longer? Isn't that one of the problems with our private courses in Adelaide?
I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that. Is it? You tell me.
Well, I don't know. I'm certainly not a golf expert, but the thing is, as a random casual punter hacker who's never broken 100 and got exactly 100 once. I've never got under 100. I want to do that one day. I think investing in a sport, it's a hugely popular participation sport. And if we have the Australian Open here a couple of times, 3 times, people, they're now getting into the habit. They come here for gather round. They've come here for live. Surely there's a business case that can be made that if you can say to particularly with what's happening over on KI, with the course that Sam Atkins is working on, people go to like Swan Hill in Victoria for golf weekends because there's so many great golf courses around there. People from the US go to what's known as the Riviera Maya, the Mayan Riviera, Cancun in Mexico, because there's a whole row of golf courses there. If we can say we're the only city in Australia where you can come here, play the brand new North Adelaide course, then pop over to KI, play the new course there, I reckon there'll be hundreds of people who jump at that.
Hundreds? I'd hope there'd be more than hundreds.
Well, okay, thousands.
Well, look, I think
we're spending $100 million on gymnastics, on a new gymnastics centre. $100 million.
Yeah, but how well serviced are people who do gymnastics? I don't know, but I know people who play golf have an unlimited number of courses you can play at in South Australia at the moment that don't necessitate that level of development. It's not as though you can't get to a golf course. In fact, where they're building it, there's 2 really good ones already right now that are totally playable. This feels like a problem that was in search of a solution. It wasn't like we've built the course now because we've got this tournament coming. We were building the course and we thought we need to find a reason for it. Let's knock around and can we throw some money at the Australian? This is a great event. I'm not knocking this event at all, by the way. I think the Australian Open Golf is fantastic. And if you get a big name there, well, that's excellent. But it just strikes me at a time we're talking about profligate government spending. We're talking about every tier of government having to tighten the belt. It's peculiar that we're sitting here having a debate about spending $55 million on a golf course.
Your argument is much easier to make than my argument. Happy to have it, though.
Look,
but I think it's still a massively hard sell for the government.
Hard sell made easier by virtue of the Australian Open Golf Championships. We said so. It is plural because it's men's and women's. Ben Hook knows more about this than we certainly do. Sports journalist, Hooked on Sports podcast host, and golf nut. Ben, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Will. Good morning, Dave.
We'll doubtless have aficionados that are listening in, Ben. But for those that aren't, how big an event is the Australian Open Championships?
Yeah, look, when you marry it up against a lot of other big global sporting events that are here in Australia, the Australian Open Tennis is probably the best example. It's a far smaller event. It doesn't command rights fees for the broadcast coverage. It's basically whoever's prepared to broadcast it for us, we're happy to allow them to screen it. There's really no income from that perspective. So it's very, very difficult for Golf Australia, the governing body, to be able to generate great wealth out of an event like an Australian Open. They do rely on a state government to be prepared to fund, I guess, a lot of the driver behind it. So it doesn't have quite the reach of like a tennis major, but certainly from a historical perspective, it's the most important golf event in Australia.
Do you reckon too, Ben, the argument that I was trying to make when Will and I were agreeing to disagree just now, do you think it'll become a tourism draw card aside from this event, this new course?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just listening to a bit of the byplay going on between you two beforehand. I don't think that the Australian Open necessarily becomes a massive tourist draw card, but the course itself has the capacity to be as such. So there's a couple of things. Will was talking about but there are a heck of a lot of golf courses in Adelaide that you can play on. And that's true from the perspective that there are a lot of golf courses around the place. But at the high-end market, there really isn't any room to play on the top-end golf courses at all. So Grange, Royal Adelaide, Kooyonga and Glenelg, which are known as the Big Four here in Adelaide, all of them are fully subscribed.
Yeah.
You cannot get onto that course unless you are already a member.
And you need to be loaded. You need a lot of money.
And you need to be quite wealthy to do so. And it's not as if, unless you are friends with people who are members there, that you can just walk in there and pay for one round and then never turn up again. You either have to be able to pay somewhere in the vicinity of around $500 to do that, or you just do not get the opportunity to do it. And even if you are wealthy, and even if you are happy to pay all of the money, you are still not walking onto any of those golf courses regularly because they're fully subscribed. A lot of them have wait lists that are 7, 8, 9, 10 years. So I think there is capacity for Adelaide to have another high-end course, and I think it is good that it would be set up in a manner that it was pay for play. Now, the other point that I would make, and I think this is really interesting because I've only done it recently myself, there is a huge market at the moment for wealthy golfers around Australia to travel and go and play in other venues which are public access courses. Tasmania has done an incredible job of it. There are 2 courses in the northeast of Tasmania, about an hour out of Launceston. There are 2 on King Island. There's another one that's just been built just out of Hobart called 7 Mile Beach. South Australia is heading down that road with a golf course on Kangaroo Island called the Cliffs that'll be open in October, and that will drive a heck of a lot of this golf travelling market, if you like. So I don't think it's a bad thing that we're actually trying to piggyback off of that by having a golf course that's public access right in the middle of Adelaide. So you think about someone from Victoria, they come over and they play North Adelaide, they might go to Lady Bay on the way down to the Cliffs and make their way back, and maybe they fork out and pay one of the courses on the western side of town as well. That is a huge market, and getting involved in that. Mount Compass is another one that you could do.
That's a cracking course.
Well, yeah, all of those things I think are going to be very attractive to the interstate person who stays in a high-end hotel and goes to good restaurants. I think all of that is worth doing. The only asterisk I'd put alongside of that, guys, is how good is the North Adelaide golf course going to be? Is it going to be good enough to drive that interstate traffic? We haven't seen enough of the really detailed plans yet, but that I think is something that I'm concerned about. My other disappointment, I've got to be honest, is that we just blindly handed this job to Greg Norman. Neil Crafter is by far and away one of the best golf course designers in Australia. He's done a remarkable job with so many courses here in South Australia, and to not even get a look into that job, I mean, we pride ourselves as South Australians on being able to do these things really well ourselves, and to hand it to a guy who barely even lives in Australia. I mean, he's an American, isn't he? Instead of our own Neil Crafter, I think was a big miss by the South Australian government.
Well, it's a good point, Ben. A lot of people too on the text line making the point that they don't really know anything about how the contract works.
It's a good point. It's hard to have a debate about it when we don't know any of the particulars.
Yeah, have we seen the drawings?
Yeah. Yeah. That was brilliant, Ben. That's why we get the golf expert on to talk about the potential golf course.
Really divided opinion on the text line. Thank you, Ben.
Ben Hook, sports journalist, Hooked on Sports, and golf expert. Do you want to do some text? 0480 1395. We'll go to Paul in Penneshaw in just a moment.
Andrew says, I'm okay with the upgrade and I'm not a golfer. Much has already been spent in the design process. It will attract major events. Plus, it's still public. Everyone gets to use a world-class golf course and facilities. Another one here. Will, 100% you are spot on. This is a very costly scramble to save face. Terry's had a crack at you, Will. Said, he's worried about how much the golf will cost, but he was happy to turn the first sod on a nuclear reactor.
You know what, Terry? We had a beef yesterday, and I'm going to give you the points this time.
One here. It's a good rolling stink, this one. Rob says, what's the business model for the green fees for a new international standard public golf course? I don't think it's going to be $30. Other people asking how much it's going to cost to maintain. So a lot of questions, a lot of brickbats and quite a few bouquets as well.
You know what I'm fed up with, and this is just, and perhaps this has just soured the mood, and this is informing a bit of my golf view at the moment. Do we have any adult governments in this country at the moment? So Western Australian government handed out their budget and their rivers of gold and billions of dollars worth of surplus, 3.5 billion of surplus. They're handing out
petrol vouchers.
Anyone with a car, it doesn't matter if you're Gina Reinhardt, you get a petrol voucher. $100 of stimulus. We have the most childish governments on planet Earth at the moment in this country that will tut their way around an economic crisis going, everyone needs to tighten their belt and do their bit. But whenever they have an opportunity to lead, they are left wanting. That is embarrassing what the West Australian government did. Like, we don't even need to talk about Victoria. But
I sat down yesterday for doing my column for Sunday on this very point, just adding up snowy,
did you really?
Snowy hydro. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
We've turned into the same person, mate, apart from on golf. Snowy hydro, that was meant to cost $2 billion and it was meant to be finished 4 years ago. It's now going to cost $42 billion and it's going to be finished in 2032.
Yeah. Did you do the Brisbane River?
Did the Brisbane River one. That was going to cost
4 or something, now 19.
Now it's $19 billion. That bloody railway thing in Victoria that's going to connect Box Hill and Cheltenham, you know, they haven't even dug a hole yet. It's already cost $7 billion in preparation.
We're getting to the point, Michelle Bullock's going to have to glue herself to a Treasury building somewhere to try and protest people spending money.
Well, we should all glue ourselves with her. Seriously.
I'm up for it.
She's got the toughest job in Australia because she's surrounded by half-wits who don't understand anything about how the economy works.
Well, no, they're willing to put their own immediate political future above the well-being of the country and the taxpayer. It's just childish. Paul in Penishore, sorry, this is a conversation about golf, and you're on KI, which we love, and you've got a terrific golf course coming there, Paul. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. David, if anybody's coming over here to play on that golf course, apparently it's going to be $300 a round.
Yep. Well, they're the sort of cashed-up tourists that they're going after in that space, I guess, though, Paul.
Yeah, no doubt. But if you're somebody from Adelaide or something that wants to come over, the ferry fare, accommodation and everything, it's going to be a big, expensive weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right, Paul. I mean, it's almost sort of like, you know, I mean, I've never stayed at the Southern Ocean Lodge. I'd love to, but I also don't want to have to sell either of my kidneys. You know, you make a really good point, mate. It's going to look amazing, though. Where do you stay? We'll get Sam Atkins on the show at some point. He's the bloke behind it. We'll get him on next week.
Yeah, it's a good question. They could
stay at American River, I think.
I mean, they're all good spots. Do you not lack of good spots? Could they do with more accommodation on KI? That was good, Paul. Good to hear from our friends over in Kangaroo Island, my favourite place on planet Earth. All right.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's check traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Louvain.
Morning, guys. Accident breakdown free at the moment, which is good news for a Friday. Look out for works today, though, in Somerson Park, Brighton Road near Elgar Road, and in Parafield Gardens, Kings Road near Lakeview Drive. Speeds there down to 40 k's in both directions. And watch out for speed cameras today, Hart Street in Glanville and Tolmer Road in Elizabeth Park. Choose to fight MND this big freeze. You've got a head, use it. Buy a beanie from Coles, Bunnings, select Shell Ready Express stores or online at fightmnd.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings. As we all well and truly know, Mount Barker's population far exceeds what was predicted 20 years ago. More than half the people that live in Mount Barker leave their hometown for work, most into the CBD. The impact is going to be felt on the already overburdened Southeastern Freeway. Graham Goodings. The lack of infrastructure and lack of road maintenance across the state is a major issue. Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.
For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. Join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Walco.com.au.
Moving house and need a truck, planning your next family holiday, or maybe your car is out of action and you need a reliable replacement. Whatever you need to do, wherever you need to go, think Red Spot Car Rentals.
The team at Red Spot has got you covered. Red Spot's been named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year, voted by you, their customers.
And that's because Red Spot proudly offers transparent pricing, genuine old-fashioned service and a new fleet of vehicles, including an impressive hybrid range.
You can rely on Red Spot. Book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Do you have a concern about your aged care? If you have feedback or concerns, you can talk to your provider. They must respect your right to choice, dignity and feeling safe. You can also talk to the Aged Care Quality and Safety Commission. We help resolve issues and take action when needed. Safe, quality care is your right. Find out more at agedcarequality.gov.au or call 1800 951 822.
There's a better way to choose your next car. Not bumper to bumper, but vineyard to vineyard. Come to Barossa Auto Group and test drive Ford, Volkswagen, Honda or Kia, where the road opens up. And the drive means everything. Take a country test drive. We'll even buy you lunch to make a day of it. T's and C's apply. Barossa Auto Group, Tanunda and Nuri Utpa.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
Speaking about report card with distinctions, here's Geneva.
Tim Geneva on FiveAA Breakfast.
It's time to talk footy. There's a big game on tonight. Port Adelaide and the Dogs. Timmy, good morning. Are you feeling confident?
Well, I've got to say that they are a very good side. Even though they've lost, I think, their last 4, they kicked 102 points last week. Marcus Bontempelli on one leg was able to have 33 touches, kick a couple of goals, you name it. So they are a very dangerous looking outfit. The one thing they will do is let you get inside 50. Their numbers for inside 50s against are very high. So Port, who only had 39 last week, when they do go in, are being quite productive compared to other years. So that's probably one that they'll have in their kit bag to try and get over the top of the Bullies, but won't be easy. It'll be full on. But yeah, we'd like to see a good contest and maybe just give Zach Butters more reason to hang around at Albert.
Well, he's one of these speculated suitors of the Doggies. Is that the side you'd be most concerned about losing him to, Tim, or is there someone else that's stalking him?
There's about 10 clubs in all.
They'd all take him.
Yeah, so it's, it's like the Custer's last stand, mate. We are trying to protect ourselves from all angles, but the Bullies are definitely in a front row because of he grew up barracking for the Western Bulldogs, so he's a bit of a fan there, and I know that they've been in close touch. And one thing I think they will do is handle it with a bit of class. I don't think they'll be the sort of ones that'll do a sneaky meeting or things like that, and they'll make sure that they're dealing with the managers and make sure it goes through the right channels.
So, Tim, coming up for 10 weeks into the season, almost approaching, we are approaching the halfway mark. Do you reckon the new Josh Carr style has sort of taken shape yet? And what do you make of what you've seen?
Oh, it's definitely taken shape, yeah. And I think the most exciting thing for the group, Dave, is that the players are really excited about it. They're talking about it in interviews and press conferences and saying that they are understanding what they're supposed to be doing, and they're seeing the results. And, that we were sort of tipped to be pretty ordinary this year, and we've probably shown that we can compete with the better teams because of the game plan. So sometimes they say, is it personnel, is it game plan? Well, it's a combination of both. And I think at the moment, what they've been able to do with a squad that's had its fair share of challenges with injuries, but also maybe with experience, it's been able to hold up in big games. Now, unfortunately, we've lost 3 games by under a single digit. It'd be nice to sort of claw a couple of those back when you're moving forward into the season. But I think there's a great respect for what the game plan is. So that's exciting for Josh and for the team.
Yeah. Hey, Deb, conclusion of round 9. This is usually about the point in the season where we get the fixture for those games that we know who's playing who, but we don't know when and what time slots, and they guard it so there's no sort of bomb events for the second half of the year TV-wise. But this year it's going to be different, isn't it? So they're doing it in 2 sorts of tranches. Are you a fan of it doing it this way or not?
No. I think it's... if you could make yourself more unpopular, this would be the way to do it. It's staggering. I think I said during the week when it came out, I said, now we have 4 releases. We have the first one, rounds 1 to 15. Then we get round 16 to 19. Then they're going to maybe release 20 to 23 when they sort of work out what they think they'll want to do. And then, of course, the last round is always held back as well since COVID. So we've now got 4 releases. And I thought to myself, I said something like, they're as popular as clothes at a nudist camp at the minute. And here we go, staggering the release. And then if there's no better indication of that was Showdown Friday night when they flashed up to the heads of the AFL and the whole crowd went boo. They just could not make themselves any more unpopular, I don't reckon.
Well, it feels like, a lot of people felt this way for a while, but it feels official now that the loyalty or the first customer of concern for the AFL is the TV viewer and not the in-person spectator, doesn't it?
Look, that is correct, but I got to say, last year they had the same opportunity. The AFL shot themselves in the foot, and now they're blaming, the crowds and the clubs and that. Not true. They're the ones that put Essendon and Carlton into those Thursday and Friday nights when they weren't travelling well.
Yeah.
So it's their fault.
And it's been going on for years. Yeah, well said, Tim.
Oh, go in the corner and stand there until I ask you to come back.
Good on you, Tim. On you, Tim.
All right.
Speaking about report cards with distinctions, here's Ginnivan.
Tim Ginnivan on 5AA Breakfast.
Timmy G!
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two at 19 with the 7:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Physio Extra for Locomat robotic technology treating stroke, cerebral palsy, brain and spinal cord injuries. Visit physioextra.com.
Several tobacco retailers have been broken into overnight. Police are at Blair Athol, where a Prospect Road shop was hit at 4:30 this morning. 50 minutes earlier, 3 men in Balaclava stole a large amount of cigarettes and tobacco from a shop on Marion Road at West Richmond, fleeing the scene in a white Holden sedan registered S259BZY. 5AA and 7 reporter Jono Edwards was driving past and witnessed it unfold.
The most concerning part, the owner and his wife were asleep at the rear of the property and were awoken to. Now, it's understood, this is yet to be confirmed by police, that he was assaulted. There are some sort of reports circling around that maybe he was stood over or held down for a period of time while the offenders made off with their loot.
A hit-run driver who allegedly ran down 2 pedestrians and smashed into 3 cars at Gola last night will face court today. Senior Constable Matt Brown says the 41-year-old Lewiston man continued his drive home, where he was arrested 50 minutes later.
Bit of a scary one from yesterday afternoon. About 5:40 p.m, police and ambulance crews were called to Commercial Lane in Gola after reports that a car had been involved in multiple collisions in the car park. Now, it was reported that 3 cars were hit in the car park by a Volkswagen sedan, which then also collided with 2 pedestrians in Centenary Lane.
The 14-year-old boy and 43-year-old woman taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The man charged with multiple driving offences, including driving without due care and leaving the scene of a collision. A Yazidi refugee persecuted by ISIS says the return of a group of women and children linked to the terror group poses a threat to Australia. One of the women has been charged with being a member of a terror organisation. 2 others expected to be charged with crimes against humanity, including enslavement. Yazidi refugee Amira Ali escaped the terror group and says the images of their return are confronting.
So when people linked to ISIS arrive to Australia, it brings back the trauma I truly understand and respect Australian law, but I don't understand why instead of bringing people who link to ISIS here.
The World Health Organization says an outbreak of Hanta virus on board a cruise ship is not the beginning of a pandemic. Passengers on board the ship are preparing to disembark and travel home this weekend. 8 cases have been reported so far. 3 people have died. A man has been arrested after allegedly threatening former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. More from Nine's Europe correspondent Hannah Sinclair.
A man has been questioned at Kings Lynn Police Centre, arrested on suspicion of a public order offence and possession of an offensive weapon. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was reportedly out walking his dogs around 7:30 last night on public land near his new home on the King's Sandringham estate when a man who'd been sitting in a car spotted the former Prince with his private security guard. The man in a balaclava reportedly started approaching Andrew and was shouting at him. The former Duke of York reportedly rushing to his own car and driving away at speed.
Australians are being urged to donate and have a conversation about bullying for Do It for Dolly Day, the annual event established in memory of 14-year-old Dolly Everett, who died by suicide after extensive bullying at her boarding school. Head of Dolly's Dream, Sally Sweeney, saying everyone has a role to play in stopping bullying behaviour.
We all need to come together. It's a whole community issue, but we can take a stand against bullying together.
Turning to FiveAA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
And Tom Wren, an impressive comeback last night.
They've been amazing, haven't they, pal? Let's start with football. Fremantle have stormed home to beat Hawthorn at Optus Stadium by 15 points after trailing by 22 midway through the third term. It extends the Dockers' winning streak to 8 games. Dockers coach Justin Longmuir pleased with their effort.
Just incredibly proud of the players who have 4 games in 18 days or whatever we did, back-to-back 6-day breaks. Didn't hear any players whinging about it, talking about how sore they were. They just got to work and win, lose or draw. I thought we prepared really well.
2 games tonight. One of them's here in Adelaide, and it's the Power hosting the Bulldogs. They've made one change with Jack Watkins coming in for Todd Marshall. The Crows have named an extended squad for their clash against Richmond on Sunday. Captain Jordan Dawson is back along with Nick Murray. To cricket now, Aussie Mitch Marsh has smashed a stunning century to help his side secure their 3rd win for the season in the IPL. Marsh bringing up triple figures with a boundary.
Shot. A full toss accepted gleefully, and it brings a big smile. 101 of just 49 balls.
Audio there thanks to Fox. Marsh's Lucknow Super Giants winning by 6 runs against the Royal Challengers Bengaluru. Despite the result, however, Lucknow still sits on the bottom of the table. And Aston Villa will play in the Europa League final after a 4-0 rout of Nottingham Forest in their semi-final clash this morning. And that is the FiveAA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking the drive into work and school this morning.
That's a good start to your Friday morning with no major issues on our roads at the moment, which is nice. Look out for works today, though, in Paradise, Gorge Road near Jan Street, and in Dry Creek, Cavern Road near Churchill Road North, affecting outbound traffic there. And check your speeds today, Lady Gowrie Drive, North Haven, and Woodford Road in Elizabeth North. FPOS fees are great for banks, not businesses. Pay less fees or pass them on with Shift 4's low-cost FPOS. Search Shift 4 and find out more. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FiveAA.
Now FiveAA's forecast with a shower or 2 for the city today, 19, and tomorrow as well. Cloudy on Sunday, 19, 20 for Monday. Currently, it's 15 degrees. FiveAA, always Adelaide.
We're in a play called Art.
Yeah, and the story's kind of like group therapy for 3 friends who think they're totally fine.
Spoiler, they're not.
It starts with an overpriced all-white painting one of them has bought, and then things get a little out of hand.
Because every friendship has that one fight you pretend never happened.
I'm Richard Roxburgh.
I'm Damon Harriman.
And I'm Toby Schmitz.
Come see us in Art at Her Majesty's Theatre from May. It's short, sharp and incredibly fun.
Book now at arttheplay.com.au.
Before your friends make you talk about your feelings.
No more. Ugh. No more. Try Arbor Vitae Joint Health for the relief of pain and other symptoms associated with mild arthritis and inflammation. Arbor Vitae is wellness backed by science. A clinical study on Arbor Vitae Joint Health can be viewed at arborvitae.com.au. That's arborvitae.com.au. Now on sale at all Chemist Warehouse stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Here at FiveAA, we're all about supporting local. Tasting Australia, presented by Journey Beyond, returns May 8 to 17. Visit Town Square in Victoria Square, Tundanyunga, for delicious bites and standout drinks.
Thanks to you, FIVEAA Milk Company celebrates an incredible milestone. 20 years. For 2 decades, local farming families have woken before sunrise, worked through drought and rising costs, so we can all enjoy the freshest milk available. So, when you choose FIVEAA Milk Company, you're part of that 20-year legacy too, backing local farms, local jobs and local families. Look for FIVEAA Milk Company products at your supermarket, and let's keep a good thing going.
A lot can change in 18 months. A newborn becomes a toddler. That DIY project you've been working on should be finished, and your favourite Netflix series could sadly come to an end. But with Sterling Homes' 18-month fixed-price contract, one thing that won't change is the price.
That's right. It means you can rest easy knowing that when you're ready to build, the price is fixed for a solid 18 months with zero surprises except for your free luxury upgrades.
$15,000 worth of luxury upgrades at no extra cost. Choose what matters to you. So you might choose something like reverse cycle air conditioning. That's handy. Stone bench tops look magnificent. Solar panels. Well, you need to generate your own energy these days. Plus 2.7 metre high ceilings are included.
How good's that? Ask about Sterling Homes' 18-month fixed-price contract. Some T's and C's apply. Visit their website, sterlinghomes.com.au, for display locations across Adelaide.
At Mawson Lakes Mazda, there are some car clearances where we stop setting the price and start cutting the price. That moment is now. At Mawson Lakes Mazda's used car mega event, we're overstocked, so the prices have dropped even lower. All cars are quality checked with finance available and ready to drive away today. Today. We're serious. Once the cars are gone, these ads stop playing. So today could be your final chance. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
19 minutes to 8. Coming up before 8 o'clock this morning, the CEO of the Hospital Research Foundation Group, Paul Flynn, will join us. They're gearing up for their pedal to fight Parkinson's. This has become a really well-supported event, the pedal to fight Parkinson's.
That's
a lot
good.
of people get behind it. We'll talk about it very shortly. And then after 8, breaking at 8, Feedback Friday, because I lose my voice, and we're going to play a little game of nearest to the pin. That's coming up after 8 o'clock. Of course, Meat Tray Friday, thanks to Gramazio Foods. We're asking you to tell us something you learnt from your mother, something she taught you, a skill, a life lesson, maybe a philosophy. We've had a lot of terrific entries this morning. Keep
Will and
coming
I
in.
found out we might be distant relations earlier.
Quite possibly.
Yeah, we probably are.
Yeah.
We would be.
Well, so my father's side is not far from Silesia. They're near Kelsey, which is
your dad's side.
Your
grandfather's side.
Yeah,
your
Jadek
mum's dad.
side. Yeah.
How do you say grandpa in Polish?
Jadek.
Jadek.
Yep.
And grandma's babcia?
Babcia. Yep.
Good. They're both cute words, aren't they?
I think they in most languages, I reckon, aren't they? They're sort of
nonna and nonno in Italian.
There's a warmth to them in every language.
Papu and yaya in Greek. Abuelo and abuela in Spanish. But I love the diminutive form, abuelita. Abuelita means little granny.
Little granny.
Yeah. It's good.
All right, let's talk federal politics. Nelson Scott is our FiveAA Canberra correspondent this morning. Nelson, good morning to you.
Morning, Jen.
Lots to talk about. Obviously, the budget next week, the FIVEAA by-election. But let's start with what's transpired, the return of the ISIS brides yesterday. Now, 3 of them in custody, is that right?
Yeah, and this has happened in the last 10 minutes. There was the arrest laid overnight of 3 of the 4 women returning from their Syrian camp to Australia. So in the last 10 minutes, 2 of those women, they've been charged with slavery offences. Korsor Abbas, she's 53, and her 31 daughter, Zainab Abbas. They were taken into custody, of course, after arriving at Melbourne Airport last night. They've been arrested this morning, and they're expected to face Melbourne Magistrates Court later today. Both women charged with enslavement and using a slave, but the mother, Korsor Abbas, also charged with possessing a slave and engaging in slave trading, serious offences. maximum jail terms of potentially 25 years. As I say, these were flagged by the AFP overnight, and they follow the charging of another member of the returning cohort, Jana Safar. She returned to Sydney with her 9-year-old son yesterday, arrested and charged over entering a prohibited area and being a member of a terrorist organisation, both offences. Carrying a maximum penalty of 10 years, she'll appear before the Downing Centre Court in Sydney later today. But those slave charges I've mentioned earlier, very significant, very hard to prove, I understand, partly because they occurred overseas. So you're talking about a foreign jurisdiction, foreign witnesses, very challenging to prove. So it's going to be very interesting how this plays out. The other issue here, of course, is what happens to the children, particularly the children of the arrested women. They're going to be inducted into anti-radicalisation programs, given psychological support, as I understand. Questions over their effectiveness. I've heard in the last couple of days the National Senator Bridget McKenzie, she's of the view that these aren't effective, but I also spoke yesterday with a representative from the Save the Children organisation who told me that apparently there is a lot of evidence overseas that they have de-radicalised children successfully. Let's hope that's the case, but certainly a lot to play out over the coming days and weeks.
I'll tell you what, though, Nelson, like what these women have been charged with, and the quotes from one of the ones that you mentioned, Jana Safar, she said in 2019, "I don't regret coming to Syria. I don't regret living under Islamic State. It was my decision to come here to go away from where women are naked on the street. I don't want my son to be raised around that." None of them have been contacting A Current Affair or 60 Minutes to say, look, I really want to tell my story about how I was taken against my will to a radical Islamist hellhole where gay people and adulterous women were being strung up in public. People were being burned alive in cages. These women, rather than being doe-eyed victims of the will of their husbands, they actually look like active participants. So, you know, any attempt to get the violin out for them seems to be somewhat flawed. I mean, I feel terribly sorry for their kids, but the women don't look like they were, you know, they were in the midst of something they couldn't control or disliked.
Yes, certainly. And I think that was part of the issue with this cohort compared to previous returning ISIS brides cohorts, is they did appear to intelligence authorities as one that posed a greater risk, and the charges suggest that, yeah, if they are to be proven true in a court of law, then they are certainly active participants in the ISIS regime and deserve to face the full force of the law, as the government and opposition have said on multiple occasions. But look, of course, the kids, we feel sorry for them. They were taken there against their will. And they didn't really have any choice. Hopefully they end up okay. But, yeah, look, certainly really, really serious crimes. I mean, the opposition have, of course, been saying they shouldn't have been allowed back in the first place. They should have been placed under temporary exclusion orders. Exceptions should have been made in terms of giving them passports. The opposition will often say there's a provision in the Passports Act which allows the government to not issue passports to those who pose a national security risk. I suspect they'll continue to ask questions about what advice the government received on that, because the government said we haven't really received that advice. They're Australian citizens. They have to come home. The one person they did receive advice on is still in Syria under a temporary exclusion order. And then I guess the question then moves to costs. We've got one woman who hasn't been arrested. She'll presumably return to the community. I imagine it'll be hard to find employment for her. There'll be speculation about her security risk, the security risk of the children as well, who some of them have spent their whole lives surrounded by ISIS environments and that ideology. And I suspect that there will be some people that wouldn't want them in their neighbourhood, and that's something I imagine the opposition will be pushing over the next few weeks or so.
And Nelson, just before we let you go, mate, the FiveAA by-election tomorrow, necessitated by the resignation of Susan Lee, that looking like a One Nation pickup?
Yeah, well, that appears to be the consensus. So David Farley, of course, the One Nation candidate, he's a former agricultural business gentleman. One Nation polling very well. However, he's had a few issues in the community. The Liberal Party, who it doesn't look like has a real chance of winning, they've been trying to exploit revelations that he previously had endeavoured to run for the Labor Party. There's also been a few policy differences between him and Pauline Hanson in terms of immigration in particular. He said he's a bit more comfortable with more immigration than Pauline Hanson is. But One Nation is very popular. There's a vibe behind him. He is the favourite, but of course there's Michelle Milthorpe, who is an independent funded by Climate 200. Not necessarily a teal in the traditional inner city sense, in that she's kind of focused more on local, regional issues. She's against water buybacks, all that sort of stuff. She got close to beating Susan Lee in the last election, so she's very popular. It's going to be a very tight race, it appears, between David Farley from One Nation and Michelle Milthorpe, the independent. And I'm not the best person to get advice on. I often get these things wrong, but it might come down to preferences, I think, between those two. So we'll see how that plays out.
Good stuff, Nelson. Nelson Scott, 5AA's Canberra correspondent. Thank you for joining us.
All right, let's go to Windvale, because Audrey's called in with something that her mother taught her. Audrey, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. My mother gave me, well, she probably gave me lots, but I can still remember 2 pearls of wisdom. If your bed is made and your dishes are done, your house is tidy.
That is a rule to live by.
That's excellent.
And I'm going back years ago when the doctors used to make home visits. I'm sure they looked at your house. But the other important one was never leave the house without having clean underwear on.
Oh,
you
yeah.
never know if you have to go to hospital.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's such a common one, certainly of women of a certain generation.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine if I'm in such a state that I need to go to hospital, being particularly concerned about the state of my underwear.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
I've heard that one a lot. Audrey, that's excellent. Thank you very much. You're in the running to win the meat tray, thanks to Gramazio Foods.
Speaking of food, I've got this excellent spreadsheet in front of me, the Tasting Australia, full list of all of the restaurants and pop-ups that are going to be in Victoria Square.
Oh, what a...
Absolutely sensational.
Spoilt for choice.
We might discuss that later on.
All right. Let's check traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof designed, manufactured and installed locally by Luva House.
Morning, guys. No major issues on our roads at the moment, which is good news. Look out for works today, though, in Plympton, Marion Road near Glengyle Terrace. Speeds down to 40 k's in both directions there. And in Mansfield Park, Hanson Road near Millicent Street. And check your speeds today, Saints Road, Salisbury Plain, and Victoria Road in Largs Bay. Today is Do It for Dolly Day. Go blue to end bullying. Wear blue, get involved, and make a donation at doitfordollyday.org.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Is it the best Beechwood home ever made? Possibly, but there's always more to come from Beechwood. Introducing the Caliente, now open for viewing. The Caliente is a multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Taking inspiration from Palm Springs in California, it's definitely a conversation starter. The team at Beechwood can't wait for you to see it at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm. Open Saturdays and Sundays, 1 to 4:30 p.m. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Adelaide, this is the one. Sportsbet Goodwood Day, the grand final of South Australian racing. A day where Morfettville comes alive, both on and off the track. From Club Largo to the CC Giddy Up Club, the day moves from trackside to party. So, lock it in, get your mates together and don't miss it. World-class racing, trackside energy. A day you don't want to hear about secondhand. General admission, just $30. Sportsbet Goodwood Day, Saturday, May 9. Be there. Gamble responsibly.
A smashed or damaged windscreen can happen in a heartbeat, but it does get worse if you don't go to your local Complete Windscreens to get it fixed. You could be waiting weeks, and look, that's not on. Complete Windscreens has windscreens and glass for all makes and models in stock right now, with 15 technicians standing by to get you back on the road. You don't need to wait. Tell your insurance company you want Complete Windscreens on the job. CompleteWindscreens.com.au. Look for the big red koala.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. The Lynn Andrews team have seen a lot of change in real estate over the past 50 years, but one thing remains unchanged: our passion to help people invest in their future, to build strong property portfolios in either the residential or the commercial sectors. Our commitment to property investment over the years means we have a wealth of knowledge to share. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
FiveAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FiveAA on Facebook or YouTube. Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
6 minutes to 8, breaking 8 coming up after 8 o'clock. We'll play a little game of nearest to the pin. It'll be centred around the birthday of an absolute legend. We'll get into that after 8 o'clock. And, of course, we ran out the week in the usual way with Feedback Friday. But first, Paul Flynn joins us, the CEO of the Hospital Research Foundation, a group ahead of another of their terrific events, the Pedal to Fight Parkinson's, which, Paul, this has developed into a fantastic event. Good morning.
Good morning, Will and Pembo. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so Paul, tell us about the event. As Will was saying, it's really turned into a major charity draw card for you guys.
It has indeed. Pedal to Fight Parkinson's started pre-COVID, and it was really the brainchild of a couple of people, Rod Jamieson, Mark Micken, and Darren Chandler from the Sandful, to try and raise money to support medical research and patient care, and support Mark Micken through his initial journey with Parkinson's as well. And so what it is, it's a 24-hour stationary bike challenge that's held in the concourse at Adelaide Oval. It's a fantastic location. And it runs from 10 o'clock in the morning on the 5th of August to the 10 o'clock in the morning on the 6th of August. And, yep, that means people will be riding through the night on these stationary bikes. There's about 400 people, I think, maximum. Last year we almost got to the maximum. It's really quite a inspirational process. I tend to go and do the sort of 2 a.m. sesh because you can get a car park and, there's lots of people around. There's always about 40 or 50 people around at that time of the morning. All the funds that are raised go to the Hospital Research Foundation Group's research and care services that support Parkinson's. And this year, for the first time, we have a virtual element. So if you can't get to Adelaide Oval in August, and if you're an avid rider or you want to track your kilometres virtually on the streets, or even if you have an exercise bike at home or at work and raise money for the cause, you can be involved as well. All you have to do is go to pedaltofightparkinsons.com.au, and there's lots of options available. And keeping in mind, 50 people get diagnosed in Australia with Parkinson's every day. 150,000 Australians are living with Parkinson's. It's not a very nice thing. Mark was diagnosed in 2016, and he's doing pretty well. You may have seen some media about him. He was one of those Parkinson's sufferers that was able to have deep brain stimulation surgery in 2019. And he also comes along to our brain and body fitness studio at Woodville 3 times a week without fail, because there's a really strong link between exercise physiology and exercise and his ability to manage his symptoms.
Yeah, he's a lovely bloke, Mark Micken.
Certainly is.
Inaugural Crows club champion. He was my PE teacher in primary school for a period of time as well. Not great to hear he's doing so well. Great to hear this charity event's doing so well as well. $258,000 for Parkinson's research in just the last 2 years. 10 a.m. Wednesday, August 5, right through till 10 a.m. Thursday, August 5. They do it on the concourse. The Riverbank stand at Adelaide Oval. Looks fantastic. All the bikes set up and people pedalling for 24 hours. You'll doubtless see it on the TV news services, and we'll cover it closer to the event as well. Paul, thank you. Paul Flynn, the CEO of the Hospital Research Foundation Group.
Get a triple points boost on every shop in-store at Woolworths. Just boost the offer in the Everyday Rewards app before you shop and see your points take off. Offer available in-store only. Ends May 19. Only at Woolworths. T's and C's apply.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, you can rely on Red Spot to get you there. We're the all-Aussie family-owned car rental company in airport terminals and cities across Australia, with a new fleet and plenty of hybrid options too. Experience the exceptional service that earned us Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. Book direct and save now at redspot.com.au today, or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot.
Now, there's nothing like discovering a hidden gem, especially when it leads to your new favourite bottle, or in this case, bottles of wine. Thornclark Wines, located just outside Angaston in the beautiful Barossa. Such a great place. It's a family-owned boutique winery that combines tranquility with perfectly curated wines.
You'll be asking yourself, why haven't I been here before? As you take in the sprawling gardens and panoramic views, it's a remarkable spot. Then you enjoy a wine tasting that's customised to you. They'll make sure it's all the stuff you like, while they'll give you something you definitely will enjoy, a platter of local Barossa Valley produce.
Oh, it'd be lovely there today on a nice, cool winter's day. End your day at the driving range overlooking the Eden Valley Vineyard. Take home a few bottles from their Sandpiper and Shopfire ranges, especially, this one's great, the new Shopfire Collector's Heritage Edition Shiraz.
Next time you head to the Barossa Valley, go the extra mile. Make Thornclark Wines your first stop. Settle door open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Friday to Sunday.
Hi, I'm Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Auction remains one of the strongest ways to sell in Adelaide, with buyer demand continuing to outpace supply and competition driving results. At Toop and Toop, we consistently deliver auction clearance rates above the state average, giving our clients a clear advantage in today's market. That success comes down to strategy, experience, and having South Australia's most awarded auctioneering team behind you. If you're considering selling, visit toop.com.au.
At Mawson Lakes Mazda, there are some car clearances where we stop setting the price and start cutting the price. That moment is now. At Mawson Lakes Mazda's used car mega event, we're overstocked, so the prices have dropped even lower. All cars are quality checked with finance available and ready to drive away today. Today. We're serious. Once the cars are gone, these ads stop playing. So today could be your final chance. Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway, just a short drive from the city.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two for Adelaide. 19 today with the 8 o'clock news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Pantelis.
Physio Extra offers Logomat and Armio robotic technology services at their Marion and Eastwood clinics. PhysioExtra.com.
Police are investigating after a stolen car was set alight in the northern suburbs this morning. Senior Constable Matt Brown says firefighters were called to Hillier at 5 a.m.
Fire crews were called to Wingate Road after reports of a Nissan station wagon on fire. Now, fire crews were quickly in attendance and extinguished the blaze. However, the car was destroyed. And checks on the car showed that it had been stolen from an address at Mile End on Wednesday, the 22nd of April.
Police are investigating if the fire is linked to an incident at Manopara where shots were fired at a house. At around 5:10 this morning, police called to the property in Faulding Avenue. Reports gunshots fired at the house. Police believe the incident happened at around 4:25. No one inside was injured. A terrifying encounter for a business owner after 3 balaclava-wearing men forced open roller shutters and smashed their way into a West Richmond mini-mart at 3:40 this morning, stealing tobacco. The gang loading a white Commodore parked across the road, Marion Road, with as much as they could carry, also assaulting the business owner who was sleeping at the back of the shop with his wife. 5AA and 7 reporter Jono Edwards says the stolen tobacco was legal.
This is all legal tobacco. Police have confirmed it to me. It's a mini-mart, but they've tried to make off with a lot of tobacco, as much tobacco as they possibly can. Boxes have been thrown right across Marion Road as we head up to the Tapleys Hill intersection. They drove off with one of them half hanging out the car door, as well as the fact they run multiple red lights. And it was in front of a lot of witnesses.
A second shop also targeted at Blair Athol 50 minutes later. It's not known if they're linked at this stage. Charges have been formally laid against 2 of the ISIL brides who arrived back in Melbourne last night. Madeline Burke with more.
An ISIS-linked mother and daughter were arrested at Melbourne Airport. A 54-year-old has been charged with 4 counts of crimes against humanity for enslavement, use of a slave, possessing and slave trading, allegedly committed in Syria. The 31-year-old 52-year-old was charged with similar offences. Each of those offences carries a maximum 25 years in jail. There was one remaining so-called ISIS bride and a number of children. That group was ushered out of the arrivals hall with their own security team and left in a waiting minibus.
The World Health Organization says while they understand people's concerns, the Hanta virus outbreak on a cruise ship is not like the start of the COVID pandemic. 3 people have died, 5 others have fallen ill, and the virus appears to be passing human to human, which is uncommon. Infectious disease epidemiologist Maria Van Kerkhove says the infection only spreads through intimate, close contact.
But I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far. We completely understand why these questions are coming.
I practice epidemiologist too. The federal government claims there'll be a modest oversupply of gas as a result of its new reservation policy. LNG producers will be required to keep 20% of their gas exports for the Australian market. The move designed to push down prices for houses and manufacturers. But Australian energy producer CEO Samantha McCulloch argues the policy is flawed.
Now, there's no need for such a heavy-handed approach when we can see at the moment that the market is very well supplied and prices are lower than they've been in years, and that's despite a global energy crisis.
And it's been revealed a bank employee in the US hung up on Pope Leo XIV because she believed it was a prank call. The American-born Pope, formerly Robert Prevost, was trying to change his on-file address and phone number with his Chicago bank 2 months into his papacy. Turning to FiveAA Sport.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
And Tom Renport hit the field tonight, of course. What's going on here, pal?
Yeah, that's a very good question. They are playing tonight, Matty, and they're taking on the Bulldogs at home. It's going to be a great game, let's hope. The Power have made one change. Jack Watkins coming in for Todd Marshall, who's been dropped. One other game on tonight, Brisbane hosting Carlton, while the Crows will trim their squad of 26-23 a little later today. The Crows take on Richmond, of course, on Sunday at the MCG. Meantime, Fremantle's overcome a 6-goal Jack Gunston masterclass to beat Hawthorn last night by 15 points. The Dockers coming from behind to score the last 34 points of the match, and they won in Perth to record their 8th victory on the trot. Hawks coach Sam Mitchell disappointed with their final quarter.
We weren't good enough tonight, so we'll work on a little bit of our method around what we need to do late in games, but also the mentality of the moment. We went away from a few things that we were meant to be doing across that last 15 minutes of the game, and we already half reviewed it about these are things that are going to cost us big games, and we shot ourselves in the foot with the way we set the game up late in the game.
The opening round of the Live Golf event in Virginia is complete. Aussie Lucas Herbert's made a blistering start. He's the outright leader at 8 under. He's 2 shots clear of a host of players, including fellow Aussie Mark Leishman, who's at 6 under. Meantime, American Matt McCarty has made a stunning start at the Trust Championship event in Miami. He's just completed his opening round and he's 8 under, putting him 3 shots clear. Minwoo Lee's the best of the Aussies, 9 shots back in a tie for 48th. In some soccer, Aston Villa smashed Nottingham Forest 4-0 to move into the Europa League final. They'll now take on Freiburg in Istanbul in the final in just under a fortnight. One game in the NRL overnight, it was the Dolphins belting the Bulldogs 44 points to 12. And mixed results for the Aussies at the Italian Open overnight. Alexi Popperin had a win, but Maya Joint lost on the women's side. And that's the FiveAA Sport, pal. I'll catch you at 8:30.
Thank you, Tom. Let's have a look at the roads around Adelaide this morning.
Good morning. Got a crash to watch out for at the moment in Melrose Park, Winston Avenue near Ayres Avenue. Look out for works today in Plympton, Marion Road near Glengyle Terrace, and in Westlake Shore, Westlakes Boulevard near Bartley Terrace. Cameras about the place today, Military Road Semaphore Park, the Grove Way Golden Grove, and one just set up then in Salisbury East on Bridge Road. Power up Android at Telstra. Trade in to trade up your Android phone today. Trade in powered by Assurant, eligible device and Telstra service required. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Thanks, pal. A shower or two today and 19, same tomorrow. Cloudy on Sunday, 19, 20 for Monday, and currently 15. 5AA, always Adelaide.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
Knock down, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
8 minutes after 8, break at 8 coming up in just a moment. Really enjoyed your stories for the meat tray so far this morning, and plenty of time for plenty more. 8223 is the number. We're celebrating mums with the meat tray thanks to Gramazio Foods. We spoke about ours first thing this morning, in fact, and we'd invited you to tell us things that your mothers have taught you.
Is your mum an early riser?
No.
My mum generally is. I wonder if she heard what we said.
It
was right at the start of the show. We might have to dig out the audio and email it to our
love
mums
my
for
mother,
Mother's Day.
but if World War III broke out before 7 a.m, she wouldn't hear about it. No, she'd be going about her day.
Oh yeah, I reckon the idea of getting on a bit when you retire. Do you think you're going to keep the same hours we keep at the moment, Will?
No.
Springing out of bed?
No chance in hell.
I can't really sleep in for that long anymore. I used to be totally wired the other way, but this show, it's turned me into an early riser. I love some Saturdays, it's like spring, autumn morning. I love it. I'll sometimes get up at 5:45 and I'll do 2 hours gardening before the rest of the household.
Do you know what this show's turned me into? I can still sleep in, but now I just go to bed early as well. So
got to get your 14 hours a day, I guess.
Exactly right. All right, let's go break it 8.
You remember a couple of weeks ago we caught up with the legendary Kay Burton, who in an Australian first has set up SA Giving Week. Now, the whole week is devoted to promoting philanthropy, the idea of giving money away, and also particularly challenging the idea that you need to be a multi-millionaire in order to do so. Well, the week reaches its conclusion today with a major lunch. Our own Jess Adamson is going to be hosting that, and the keynote speaker is going to be our next guest, Daryl Wade, who has been described as a backpacker with a vision. Now, along with his mate Jeff Manchester, all the way back in 1989, Daryl was basically backpacking around the world, and he came up with the idea of intrepid travel, which has become one of the most innovative but also socially minded travel operators on Earth. And we've got Daryl on the line now. Daryl, good morning. You're a great story. Your company is a great story as well, and clearly you made a lot of money. But at what point did you sort of have this epiphany where you thought, what are we going to do with all this cash? Maybe there are some sort of social good, community good, environmental good causes that we can latch onto.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Look, actually, I don't think it was an epiphany. I think it was a message from my wife before the company even got off the ground, to be perfectly honest. She said, if we're going to make a living off travelling around the world, then, we should give back to those destinations at the same time. So, yeah, it wasn't from my mind. It was from my wife's words. So I do what I'm told.
It sounds, too, like reading your backstory that your mum and dad helped you sort of, almost instilled this ethos in you from your upbringing.
Yeah, look, they did. And I don't know, for whatever reason, our whole family is quite entrepreneurial. My two brothers had successful business. So did both my mother and father. And at the same time, strangely enough, they didn't really care about money that much, but they just did care about equity, and what's right and what's wrong. And, they always said we were pretty lucky, and we certainly were, and I've been extraordinarily lucky. And so as a part of that, you just think, well, luck's all very well, but not everyone gets it. And so if you haven't had the good fortune that, some of us have had, how do you help out those who haven't? And so I guess it's just pretty simple ethics, really, I think.
Do you think that philanthropy, the word itself conjures up images that if you're going to get involved with any type of philanthropy, you basically need to be, Ross Perot,
Yeah.
giving away, 1% of the $1 billion you're happy to have in the bank. Do you think the challenge and the opportunity in this space is to try to encourage more people to look at what they earn, how much super they have, how much property they own, or even what their weekly income is, and think, is there a way of almost tithing part of it?
Yeah, and, philanthropy is a funny kind of word, isn't it? And in some ways, I reckon it's a bit of an ugly word because it almost implies some kind of elitism, like what you're talking about. But actually, if you go back to the meaning of the word, it's actually an ancient Greek word, and it means for the love of humanity. And so if you look at it that way, philanthropy is just around giving and supporting. And so, yes, it might be every one of us making, a few dollars or a lot of dollars, but it can also just be giving your time and your effort. And, you know, that's one of the things I absolutely love about SA Giving Week. You know, the conveners have done such a great job at just to say, well, look, we can do all sorts of things to help out. You know, it might be going to help at the local tuck shop or supporting a local family, or, yes, it might be, you know, giving a few dollars here and there, or if you've done well in life, giving a lot of dollars here and there. So, you know, it can mean different things to different people, and I just think SA Giving Week's been fantastic in spreading that message.
Yeah, no, it's certainly been one of the first events of its kind, and certainly the first one that's been held here in SA, and a lot of big people have got behind it to support it. Hey, great chatting to you, Daryl, and all the best for the lunch today. It's going to be a good one. Daryl Wade, the co-founder of Intrepid Travel in Adelaide today for SA Giving Week. It's a really good thing.
Fantastic. Yeah, it is. It's a great concept.
She's a real go-getter. He's one of those people who's really good at organising others and getting them inspired.
I found that interview fascinating with her perspective from the US as well, where that culture of philanthropy is more robust, probably because of culturally there's more of a, I don't know what the nice way of putting it is, they're more showy than we are.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably a real downside
it's like
of
you see
being...
in their journalism when there's like a tornado or something, like in Kansas. And it's like everyone's had media training.
Well, they're all fantastic speakers. So
but you ask Australians, it got a bit windy and...
not good, is it?
Yeah, no, I think the house is probably gone, but yeah.
While they're standing by the entire city is rubble. Well, an American will give you the best description of everything that transpired. But maybe a downside of our inherent modesty or our distaste for self-promotion is we don't do as well as we could philanthropically, because it's seen as a bit of, how much money how good are you?
Getting anyone in that space to talk is really hard. I know people here in Adelaide who have just dropped thousands of dollars. If I name them now, I'm thinking about some of the families who have helped the Ukrainians who came out after the Russian invasion. I'd struggle to put a figure on how much money some of these people have given to help those refugees and the events that they've organised and so on. But if I dared name those people, I'd get a text from them saying, Pembo, shut up.
Yeah, people don't want it.
It's not the Australian way.
No. Reminds me of that wonderful episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, the Larry David show, where they give to the local hospital and you get a plaque, but someone kept theirs as anonymous, but everyone knew it was Ted Danson, and it really upset Larry David that he got double the credit for being anonymous, but also everyone knew who the person was. So sort of goes to the heart of what we're talking about. 16 after 8, my mother has protested quite strongly via text that I've misrepresented her waking hours. She says, in large part because she's looking after my daughter. She gets up very early. Reasonable point, Mum. 16 after 8. We'll check traffic. We're going to come back and play a little game of nearest to the pin in just a moment. We always love these because you can't Google the answer. You call in, you say a number, and maybe you win yourself a fantastic prize. It's very, very simple. And in the process today, we get to celebrate a pretty remarkable person. Traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof, designed, manufactured and installed locally by Luba House.
Yeah, morning, guys. Still cleaning up after an earlier crash in Melrose Park, Winston Avenue near Ayres Avenue. Debris and fluid on the road there to watch out for. Works today, West Lakes Shore, West Lakes Boulevard near Bartley Terrace, and in Sturt, Marion Road near Sturt Road. And cameras today, Military Road, Semaphore Park, and one just set up there in Salisbury East on Bridge Road. Get that Queensland holiday feeling at Flight Centre. Escape to Port Douglas for 4 nights, 4-star with sunset sailing from $299 per person. Book now with Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The FiveAA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Big news on the golf front here in Adelaide. South Australia has been able to get the hosting rights for both the women's and men's Golf Australian Opens.
It's a totally different event to live.
I love it. This will be the jewel of our crown.
Adelaide's only local sports show.
I tell you, this will bring people to Adelaide.
The FiveAA Sports Show. Weekday afternoons from 4 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Get into Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes and test drive the all-new Mitsubishi ASX.
European-style design looks, cutting-edge technology and a huge price drop now from $34,990 drive away.
Plus, every new Mitsubishi ASX includes the renowned Mitsubishi 10-year new car warranty and 10-year cap price servicing.
So head into Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes and save big on the all-new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away.
You can rent a little, you can rent a lot. You can rely on Red Spot to keep Aussie airport rentals fair. We're the only car rental company who have kept our prices low during the fuel crisis. And we're the only Aussie-owned and operated choice in major airport terminals all over the country. Experience the local service that saw us named Product Review's 2026 Car Hire Service of the Year. For a deal you can rely on, book your next rental direct at redspot.com.au today or call 1300 66 8810.
Red Spot. Sold by McGain again.
And as we all know, there's limited homes out there, so you've got to get along to these open inspections.
How about this one? Tomorrow from 11 to 11:30 a.m, Zoe Ball and Big Bad Baz Rampole are opening 11 Booth Street, Happy Valley. Packed with lifestyle appeal, this solar-equipped family home offers spacious living, a great master bedroom and multiple indoor zones. Outside, you'll discover an incredible all-weather entertaining area with a built-in barbecue and sparkling pool. 1.05 to 1.15 million.
Also tomorrow from 12 to 12:30 p.m, Zoe and Baz, they're opening 32A Limbert Avenue, Seacombe Gardens, just minutes from Westfield Marion. This inviting stone-fronted home offers multiple bright living areas, 3 well-placed bedrooms and easy care outdoor spaces, ideal for relaxed living, smart investing or your first step into the market. Just don't tell Jim Chalmers, 890 to 920K.
Ball and Baz are all over the southern suburbs tomorrow. Take a look at these properties and all the McGain listings at mcgain.com.au.
Iconic singer-songwriter Suzanne Vega is bringing her Flying with Angels tour to Adelaide. Don't miss her at the Theberton, Thursday, September 24th.
Get saving now with City Discount Tyres. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tyres. We're driven by value.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Knockdown, build 2 with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
21 minutes after the 8, it's time to play.
That's one of the great moments in Live Golf history.
Nearest the pin on FiveAA Breakfast.
Suddenly feels dated, that intro, doesn't it? Live Golf history. Live Golf might just be history, but we get to play nearest to the pin all the same. This is always fun. This is the most democratic game on planet Earth because you get to guess, and it's a number. And you can win yourself a double pass to the fabulous Wallace Cinemas simply by calling now. Now, there will be an inherent advantage for those watching on the YouTube live stream this morning. If you're watching on the live stream, you will have an advantage because we're celebrating the 100 years of the wonderful David Attenborough this morning.
From preschool groups to care home residents and countless individuals and families of all ages, I simply can't reply to each of you all separately, but I would like to thank you all most sincerely.
One of the most iconic voices, I think one of the people on planet Earth with the highest approval ratings. Everyone loves David Attenborough. They love his documentaries. Just a remarkable person, a remarkable life. Happy 100th birthday. So what we're going to do, and people are seeing it now on the Facebook live stream and the YouTube live stream, there's a documentary he did called Life in the Freezer. He shows a penguin colony. Now, there's a wide shot here of the penguin colony.
Are they emperor penguins?
We want to... They're king penguins. They're the big ones. King penguins. In this little snippet, we're going to play from Life in the Freezer. He'll tell you how big the colony is. We want you to guess how many penguins are in the big wide shot of the penguin colony. Have a listen. Here's the clip.
Throughout the winter, adults come and go from their traditional breeding colonies. Antarctica is home to 2 million kings. These engaging chicks are so inquisitive that you only have to sit down to their own level for them all to gather around you to try and discover what sort of creature you are.
Fantastic shot as he's standing there among them. The wide shot is unbelievable. So there's 2 million in total in the colony. How many are in that picture? How many would you say?
So you said there's 2 million in Antarctica. It actually, if you would flash that image up and said, what was it? I actually think people would guess, is that the crowd at Woodstock? Because it actually looked like...
Could be people.
The long shot, it could be people. I'm going to go with... I'm trying to do the thing where you isolate a 1 centimetre square. I'm going to go with 70,000.
Okay. I'll go with 150,000. Let's go Trevor in Nova Gardens. How many penguins in this shot in Life in the Freezer, Trevor?
Just finished counting, 173,223.
Excellent. Thank you, Trevor. Vinny and Grange, how many?
123,000.
Thank you. Rachel, how many do you think?
200,000.
Sam in Theberton, how many king penguins?
This is a stab in the dark because I haven't seen the video, but I'll just say 190,000.
Okay. Mark in Summertown?
83,002.
Marco, good morning. Marco, hello.
Hello, boys.
What's your guess, mate?
I can't see it, but I'm just going to go 99,000.
Little hint for those that can't see it. It doesn't help you if you can. Matt in South Brighton, good morning.
G'day, boys. 97,500.
And Anne in Newton, good morning.
Good morning, 140,000.
140,000. So for the 100...
This is crazy. I've got no idea how this is going to play out because it could be... It could be way over. It could be way under.
Well, thankfully, on his 100th birthday, we have the answer, courtesy of David Attenborough.
In this one colony alone, there are 600,000 of them.
600,000!
600!
My goodness! So who was the high number?
The highest number was Rachel, who said 200,000.
Rachel, congratulations to you. You have... the Wallace Cinema Pass coming your way. The winning will continue, though, folks. We've got a meat tray to give away thanks to Gramazio Foods as we celebrate our mums this morning. But also, after 8:30, we're going to play Feedback Friday. 4 simple questions, no wrong answers, and 3 fabulous prizes. If you want to play, get calling right now. 8223 0000 is the number.
Built like a brick house. Tough as nails. That's Basic Trailers for you. This EOFIS, use code FiveAA to drive away with Rego for just $1. Made with 100% Australian steel in Adelaide. Basic Trailers. Basically better.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Introducing The Caliente by Beechwood Homes. A multi-level masterpiece of design, innovation and style. Inspired by the effortless glamour of Palm Springs in California, it's bathed in natural light through clever architectural design. At its heart, a stunning 6-metre island bench anchors a kitchen that's as beautiful as it is functional. The Caliente is open for viewing at 10 Simon Crescent, Craigburn Farm, Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 4:30pm. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Finding your next Volkswagen? That part's easy. And right now, you don't have to wait. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen's end of financial year unlocked event is on right now. So you can jump in early and get first pick from a huge range of new and demo Volkswagens ready for delivery. Plenty of colours, plenty of options. On-site finance, next day servicing. No waiting, no missing out. End of financial year unlocked event ends June 30. Mawson Lakes Volkswagen, just a short drive from the city.
Tasting Australia, presented by Journey Beyond, is back in Victoria Square until May 17. Enjoy incredible food vendors showcasing the freshest local produce, sips from festival bars and soak up live entertainment every day. It's so good to get in and enjoy this. The atmosphere is fantastic. The smell of all the different foods that you've got on offer. In fact, the hardest thing to do...
Well, try to narrow it down.
I reckon whenever I go, you get paralysed by choice. But you've got, David, the definitive list there to help people out make some choices.
I feel bad even picking one out because there's so many. Dirty Doris, Patch Kitchen, Prahok, which is all that wonderful Thai food. Let's see, there's Africola, as always, just sensational. Waffles and Jaffles, Baltic Fine Food, doing all the wonderful Lieberkastel rolls, German currywurst. Currywurst's a good thing. I'm going to go Greek, though. Here we go. Athena Greek Eats. You've got your calamari, you've got feta fries, you've got the choriatiki, which is a fancy way of saying Greek salad. The thing I really like, though, Will, like the simplicity of this food, but just how local it is. So free-range chicken cooked over coals with tzatziki, sumac onions, parsley, paprika. Then you've got the Fleurieu Peninsula lamb, again, over charcoal. The halloumi with olive tapenade, roasted red pepper, tzatziki, cos. You read those, they're the dishes. Then you read where they get it all. So the lacanico and the sausages, they're from Merino Meats. All the lamb comes from the Fleurieu. All the calamari comes out of the Spencer Gulf. La Casa del Formaggio, local business. They make the halloumi. It's all local, and that's why it tastes so damn good.
And if you're thinking to yourself, well, crikey, this is going to cost me an arm and a leg to get into. No, not at all. It's free. You get in for free.
And just walk around looking, going, I'll eat that.
Yeah. It's pretty easy. So don't miss this incredible celebration of eating and drinking in the heart of Adelaide. Plus, there's over 150 events that are happening right across the state. If you'd like to find out more, check out the full program at tastingaustralia.com.au.
With FiveAA, Mother's Day is taken care of.
Blue Lagoon Float and Spa, Adelaide's global award-winning day spa, has gift vouchers to pamper mum. Go to bluelagoonfloatandspa.com.au.
Well done, Mum. From FiveAA, always Adelaide.
Floor World does a whole lot more than floors. G'day, Isaac Rankin here. I've recently had automated blinds installed at home by the team at Floor World Port Adelaide, and they made it easy. They've got everything too. PVC and timber plantation shutters, rollers, panel gliders, Verishades, curtains and shears. Whatever suits your place. If you're thinking about updating your home, mention this ad and you'll get 10% off your blinds or bundle it with flooring for an even better deal. Floor World, Jeps Cross, Cheltenham, Norwood and Monopara.
FiveAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FiveAA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is FiveAA News. Always Adelaide.
A shower or two, 19 today with the 8:30 news. Good morning, I'm Matthew Hanta.
Physio Extra for Locomat robotic technology treating stroke, cerebral palsy, brain and spinal cord injuries. Visit physioextra.com.
Police are investigating a break-in and theft at a supermarket in West Richmond. About 3:40 this morning, police called to the store on Marion Road. A group of men had forced open roller doors and smashed their way inside the mini-mart, assaulting the business owner inside. He suffered minor injuries. The three suspects then stole a large amount of cigarettes and tobacco products before fleeing the scene in a white Holden sedan registered S259BZY. 5AA and 7 reporter Jono Edwards stumbled into the crime scene.
A Holden Commodore pulled into the middle of the intersection, and I'm thinking, well, hang on, what's going on here, pal? And three masked and hooded offenders started piling out of a tobacco shop with boxes and boxes of equipment. Now, this situation's very much escalated in the last hour or so, and we understand that this is only one of many tobacco stores that have been hit.
At least one other at Blair Athol on Prospect Roads. 15 minutes later, police investigating whether it's linked. The tobacco is legal tobacco. Police think a car fire at Hillier at 5 a.m. may be linked to shots fired at a Monopara house 35 minutes earlier. Officers called to a house in Faulding Avenue. A gun shot at the property. No one inside the house was injured. A Nissan station wagon stolen from Mile End on Wednesday, April 22, was destroyed in the blaze. A 41-year-old Lewiston man will face multiple driving charges in court today, including driving without due care and leaving the scene of a collision after allegedly reportedly knocking down two pedestrians in a Gola shopping centre car park. A 14-year-old boy and 43-year-old woman, both taken to hospital by ambulance with non-life-threatening injuries. Witnesses telling police the man's Volkswagen collided with three cars before knocking down the pair. Senior Constable Matt Brown says the man was arrested shortly after.
Following investigations, police attended the Lewiston address where they located the vehicle and the driver about 6:30 p.m. last night. Now, the 41-year-old Lewiston man is charged with numerous offences, including driving without due care and leaving the scene of a collision. He's expected to appear in court this morning.
An Albanese government minister defending the handling of the return of the so-called ISIS brides after three women were arrested when they returned to the country. A woman who touched down in Sydney charged with entering a conflict zone and joining ISIS. Two others who arrived in Melbourne have been arrested and expected to face crimes against humanity offences. Speaking on 9, Tim Ayres has been asked if they should have been blocked from arriving by temporary exclusion order in light of the seriousness of the charges.
That's not the advice that the government has received. I mean, the security agencies have done their work to the fullest extent and they will continue to do it.
Iran is accusing the US of violating their ceasefire agreement. Tehran claims the US has targeted an Iranian oil tanker and another vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. Washington maintains it was carrying out self-defence strikes. Australia's housing market looks to be on the verge of a downturn as higher interest rates and stretched affordability weigh on demand. The Cotality data found capital city home values are fading, having risen only 0.2% in April. Cotality head of research Gerard Berg says people react differently to the outlook.
If you're a potential seller or an investor, you really see this as a negative story. If you're a potential first home buyer, you'd be absolutely cheering. Your dollars will go a lot further. You really see it as an opportunity. So it kind of depends on what stage of the market you sit in.
A little girl is fighting for life in hospital following a vicious dog attack in the Gold Coast hinterland. Yesterday afternoon, emergency services responded to the 2-year-old being attacked at a home. She is now in hospital in a critical condition. Police and the local council are investigating. Turning to FiveAA Sport now.
Huge price drop on new Mitsubishi ASX from $34,990 drive away. Agostino, Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Mawson Lakes.
Well, I'm sure a lot of pundits are saying, Tom Wren, what's going on here, pal, after Fremantle stormed home?
I think they're saying exactly that, Matty. They stormed home from 22 points down in the third quarter to win by 15 last night in Perth. Dockers coach Justin Longmuir says Luke Jackson was one of his main pals, starring with 22 disposals, 10 tackles, 22 hit-outs and 7 clearances.
He's a bit of a barometer for us, Jacko. When he's up and going and doing his thing on ball, he just adds another layer to our stoppage work, and he started clunking marks around the ground, and he's a barometer for us, and he was huge.
He was massive. Hawks spearhead Jack Gunston booted 6 goals. Defender Tom Barras went down with a hamstring injury. Port has made one change for tonight's clash at home against the Bulldogs. Jack Watkins coming in for Todd Marshall, who's been dropped. And the Crows welcome back captain Jordan Dawson into their squad for Sunday's match against Richmond. Let's go to cricket. Aussie Mitch Marsh has smashed a century to guide the Lucknow Super Giants to a 9-run win over the Royal Challengers. It's been a difficult season for LSG, who sit last in the IPL with just the 3 wins. Marsh says it's a good sign of what the squad can do with 4 games to go before the finals.
Disappointing season today, but there's still lots to play for us. And tonight I thought we were courageous in the way we bowled. We know that Bangalore are a fantastic side. They bat deep, and it wasn't over until it was over.
To soccer, Aston Villa stormed into the Europa League final after steamrolling Nottingham Forest 4-0. Captain John McGinn with 2 second-half goals to seal the result.
It's McGinn again, it's number 4. It's turning into a rout. Captain McGinn at the double.
Audio thanks to Stan Sport. Villa will take on German side Freiburg in the final in Istanbul. That's in just under a fortnight. Matty, that is the FiveAA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now, what's going on with the traffic, pal?
Hey, good morning. Got residual delays from that earlier crash in Melrose Park, Winston Avenue near Ayres Avenue, and a burst water main to watch out for this morning in Enfield, Main North Road near Trigg Street. Look out for works today in Hillier, Anglevale Road near Andrews Road, and in Kent Down, Decatable Terrace near Little Rundle Street. Get more for Mum this Mother's Day at Harbour Town Premium Outlets. Oroton, Swarovski, Kate Spade and more. Outlet prices, premium brands. Harbour Town Premium Outlets. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FiveAA.
A shower or two, 19 today. Same for tomorrow. Cloudy Sunday and 19, 20 on Monday. Currently in the city, 15 degrees. FiveAA, always Adelaide.
On Booking.com, it's easy to book your holiday home. And thanks to no hidden fees, there's no more.
Guys, found an apartment. Wait. Added fees?
We don't do sneaky added fees, so you can go from home to holiday home with no dramas.
And relax.
On Booking.com, finding a holiday home's easy. Booking.com, booking.yeah.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
22 to 9, still spots available for Feedback Friday if you get calling now. 8223 0000 is the number. A little bit later today, Stacey Lee will be joined by Chris Jarmer for Foodie Friday. If you love your food, make sure you tune in to this great segment. Always terrific to hear Chris and Stacey, and together it's just excellent. Your first choice should be visiting the Smeg showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg and Pals. Speaking of Smeg, they've got an appliance to give away for someone who contributes to Feedback Friday. And we've also got 2 Kent Town Hotel $50 vouchers. So 3 prizes, excellent. 4 simple questions. Get calling right now for Feedback Friday, 8223 0000. In the meantime, let's go to Virginia. Kathy, what's something you learnt from your mum?
She always used to say to me, I never quite got it when I was younger, but anyway, I get it now. Be frugal in your younger years to enjoy the benefits in your older years. And it's really hit home in this current climate.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Kathy. It's a good piece of advice.
Yeah, I think the older generation, it's a great call, Kathy. There's sort of like sense that you would gradually acquire things. You wouldn't go like a bull at a gate. I need the house with the 2 TVs and, you know, everything at once. You know, I can remember like we didn't get a colour TV till about 1982, and out of my group of friends, we were like the last to get one, and it was like quite a big deal. You know, the first thing we did, we watched Pop Black.
Is that right?
Well, Pop Black wasn't very good in black and white.
You know what? People always use the TV and the electrical goods. Do you know the only things that have defied inflation over the last 40 years that are cheaper relative to your pay?
Yeah, is it white goods?
Are TVs and white goods, electrical goods, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're actually... Nothing else. Cars fall into that category as well. I think maybe but TVs are the best example of the one thing that relative to incomes and inflation and everything have gotten cheaper.
Yeah.
Bizarrely. Anyway, let's feed back, shall we?
Let's do it.
It's nice to know some things can get cheaper.
Today, so have your say feedback.
We've got many things. All right, let's go to Rob in Prospect. Rob, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good to have you on board for Feedback Friday, of course. Now, let's start here with you, Rob. Would you buy a car park for $80,000?
Sorry, say that again?
Would you buy a car park for $80,000?
No, we're not.
Okay. Just wondering.
Naomi Will's selling one.
Naomi Will's selling one in Harney Street for precisely that this week. What's the cosiest pub in Adelaide, Rob? You got a favourite? We're talking about pubs with fireplaces.
Cosy pubs. Oh, look, you can't go past the Reefham Hotel on the corner of Churchill Road and Reedsy Road.
I like that answer because you didn't even pause to think about it, Rob. It was like a reflex action.
Very cosy customers. It's beautiful.
We spoke to someone who had a $30,000 plus vet bill for a dog that ate some corn. Where do you draw the line on spending money on your pets, Rob?
I've got a Schnauzer, which is a fantastic dog, but I wouldn't probably go more than $100.
Crikey.
You're a real animal lover, Rob.
I wouldn't want medical care if I was the Schnauzer.
I'd go right out for him. I really would. I'd go right out.
Okay. Yeah. We spoke earlier in the week too, and this was a really fascinating topic. What profession would you like the next Prime Minister to come from, if that's all you could select? Have you got an answer to that, Rob?
I would like him or her to be a business person, someone who's run a business.
Someone in the business community, yeah, good.
Someone who's run a business, got a bit of an idea about GST and all the other bills you've got to pay.
Yeah, Rob, I like that.
Bit of business acumen.
Rob might have broken the record for the least required thinking time to come up with any answer there. Rob, you are
Quick on the uptake.
Quick on the uptake. Let's go to Campbelltown. John, good morning.
Good morning. I might be in a bit of trouble then.
That's all right. No, you know what? No one's against each other for Feedback Friday. It's just
everyone wins something.
It's a community of ideas.
Yeah.
Do you reckon the country needs a bigger stockpile of fuel, John?
Oh, for sure we do, don't we? It's pretty much proven itself. I think we should also maybe extract our own and also refine it. I don't understand why we don't. I'm
100%.
assuming there's some sort of political agendas or businesses deals done behind it.
Yeah. Okay. Do you care about golf, John?
I think it would be great for the state to what the golf that we've done. We've lived and obviously now getting the Australian Open. I'm not a huge follower. I might just see updates on it, but play it? No, I'm hopeless.
Okay. Hey, what makes a great mum, John? We're celebrating mums ahead of Mother's Day today.
You know what it is? Pretty much a few simple words. Endless love.
Yeah, well said.
No matter what the situation, what you've done, where you are, they're endless love. You can always
Endless
rely on
love. Oh, I like how you did that. It was very concise, down to 2 words. Maybe could you give us 2 words to describe the state of the AFL at the moment?
Oh, that's easy, isn't it? Absolute shambles.
Thank you, John. It's been all we've been talking about this week. The booing of the AFL boss in town Friday night, and things have only gone downhill since then. Let's go to Old Ranella. Quentin, good morning.
Oh, good morning and happy week 10 of a magnificent AFL season.
Yeah, I know you're up and about, Quentin, with the Suns. We've just been chatting about the great David Attenborough. Have you got a favourite doco, Quentin?
I like all the muso docos that's coming through. I know David's not on them, but all the muso ones, the Queen one, Michael Jackson, all those ones are pretty good.
Yeah.
Where did you have your worst ever pizza, Quentin? David remembers him. His like it was a truly haunting and awful experience. Do you have something similar to share?
No, pizzas, there's a level of goodness. There's no such thing as a bad pizza. There's a level of goodness.
I agree with that, or at least I did until I heard David's story. That didn't sound great.
No, that was bad. That was just
I turned off.
2 German girls experimenting with random vegetables.
Quentin, have you ever filmed a friend in pain or distress? Josh Rochelle filmed poor old Luke Nankervis in a state of locked jaw at the emergency department earlier in the week.
No, I haven't. And one of my biggest regrets in life is that my wife has been on a Ambo gurney a couple of times, and I haven't taken a photo of it.
No, because you
teases me that I haven't done it.
You don't want that to be your last night on planet Earth, Quentin. That's a smart decision, I would have thought.
Yeah, hell yeah, mate.
Who do you think would make a good diplomat and representative in London? We've just had Leon Bignell going over to replace David Ridgway.
Because Sir Les Patterson wasn't available.
Oh, dear me. Oh, what about the unbiased Stephen Rowe?
Oh, Rowie. He moves product.
He's
a friend of the businessman. There's an idea. Rowie in London.
He's a people person, Rowie.
He makes connections. Yeah. People naturally like him when they meet him. He's got that sort of personality.
Yeah.
If there's a breakdown in like a free trade agreement, Rowie's in the room.
Kabang.
Kabang. No tariffs. What a thought. Now, who wins the Smeg Appliance?
Imagine Trump meeting Rowie.
I think
I met this guy.
If Trump and Rowie met,
crazy guy.
I'm telling you right now, we would have 6 nuclear submarines by Christmas this year.
I reckon they'd actually get on like a house on fire.
They would love each other.
Yeah.
All right.
So I got to pick winners.
Yeah, you need some winners.
Okay,
friend.
let's give Rob the Smeg and John and Quentin can head off to the Kent Town for a feed.
Fantastic. All thanks to the great people at Debney Distributors. Check out their Smeg showroom. Taste the difference with Smeg and the Kent Town Hotel. Go there for Mother's Day. It's as simple as that. They've got a 3-course meal on. Yeah, that's right. Book via the Kent Town Hotel website. All right, let's head to Melbourne. Georgia Bennett Murphy for 7 News was at the airport last night when the ISIS brides arrived, or at least a few of them did. Georgia, good morning to you.
Hello, guys. How you going?
We're good, thanks, Georgia. This looked like a pretty wild news story to cover. Some of the language being directed at female reporters was pretty rank. And what was the go with the so-called security team that they had on standby, Georgia?
Yeah, so it, clearly, as you would have seen in the footage, it was a really chaotic situation out there. You know, obviously, majority of Melbourne's media were there waiting for this one ISIS bride, the one in Australia to actually walk from customs as a civilian normally would. But those groups of men or those sort of security teams that you sort of talk about, they've been hanging around the arrivals hall for hours. You know, since I arrived there at 5:30, they were there, and she didn't sort of walk out until after 8:30. So they were clearly involved and with her. And then essentially, they swarmed the press pack. They did their best to stop us from getting anywhere near her or asking her any questions. Things obviously turned pretty aggressive. You know, I copped a pretty big blow to the ribs by one of them. Yes, as you mentioned, lots of slurs thrown around as well towards female journalists. So, but yeah, cameramen were sort of falling over. Photographer next to me had his equipment tried to be destroyed by them. It was, it was extremely chaotic and it got very volatile very quickly.
What was going on with other passengers? Because was it a normal plane that she was on? So were there people coming back from a holiday on that plane as well?
Yeah, it was just a commercial flight from Doha, Qatar Airways. So, yeah, just a standard flight. There were normal passengers on board that plane. She came out quite a long time after they did, I believe. I don't know why, but she came out a bit later than they did. But, yes, there were just passengers and arrivals in the international arrivals hall that would have been very confused about what was going on. I wouldn't want to be them sort of standing around thinking, what on earth is happening here? But yes, they would have walked into a very, very chaotic scene at Melbourne Airport if they'd just gotten back from their holiday, that's for sure.
Do we know if she was accompanied on the plane by, was she under, there were no police on the plane with her or anything? Who was with her? Do we know that?
I don't believe there were. I obviously wasn't on the flight, but I don't believe she was accompanied. I mean, she was obviously not arrested or charged. She's just walked out as a civilian. So my understanding is that she wasn't accompanied. But, yeah, she just walked out as she normally would. But there were police present in the arrivals hall. But in my opinion and in most of the opinion of the media out there, the police were extremely outnumbered in this environment. You know, it was very clear that these men that were lurking around the hall were going to get volatile very quickly, and unfortunately there was only a handful of police there. And obviously their brief was quite clearly, in my opinion, to protect her, as she made her way to the pickup zone, because, yeah, there was not a lot they could do. The ones that were there did their best, but when there's only a handful of them and dozens of these guys, there's not a lot that they can do, unfortunately.
Yeah, just an amazing story. Thank you for that, Georgia Bennett-Murphy, for 7 years at Melbourne Airport last night.
I'll tell you what, if the idea was come across as a helpless and harmless victim in all this, funny way of going about it.
Well, having the FIVEAA tribe standing there helping her, you know, and calling women sluts and all of that. Interesting, too, that there was the female reporters who are the ones who were copping all that sort of gendered abuse.
Yeah, amazing.
Why do you want to live in Australia if that's... the whole worldview? You're clearly living in the wrong country. It's a liberal democracy where women are allowed to do what they want and wear what they want. So what's the draw card? What's the appeal of living here? It just doesn't make sense.
It defies belief that at one point in your life you can go, you know what sounds awesome? And the Islamic State Republic. Oh, that didn't work out. I guess I'll go back to Melbourne.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, go and hang around in the small bar scene instead.
It's hard to wrap your head around. All right, let's check traffic. Enjoy your outdoor area all year round with an opening and closing roof. Designed, manufactured and installed locally by Louva House.
Morning, guys. A burst water main to watch out for at the moment in Enfield, Main North Road near Trigg Street. Apart from that, no other major issues as you make your way into work or school this morning. Look out for cameras about the place today. John Rice Avenue in Elizabeth South and Lady Gowrie Drive in Largs North. And don't forget works in Parafield Gardens, Kings Road near Lakeview Drive. Harris Scarf massive sale is on now. Save 60% off full price robot vacuums. Exclusions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FiveAA.
The Mazda End of Financial Year event is on now. Get a great deal on select models like the exhilarating plug-in hybrid CX-60 and the 7-seat plug-in hybrid CX-80. Don't miss out. Ends June 30.
A full bottle of LPG? That's useful. 3 bottles? Even more useful. Your first 3 bottles of LPG for $99 each with delivery from Origin? That's all kinds of useful. Sign up by 30 September only in selected areas. Equipment fee and T's and C's apply.
Adelaide Cabaret Festival is back, and this year it's a delicious revolution. From June 4th to 21st, Adelaide Festival Centre comes alive for 12 extraordinary nights of world-class cabaret curated by the one and only Reuben Kay.
Now, we caught up with Reuben a few weeks ago. This year's program, it is bold, beautiful and brilliantly unpredictable. Casey Donovan brings her powerhouse voice to the stage in an Amy Winehouse tribute. And What's the Buzz features the cast from Jesus Christ Superstar in a night you will not forget.
Whether you're a long-time cabaret lover or coming for the first time, Adelaide Cabaret Festival 2026 has something to stir your soul. Adelaide Cabaret Festival, consider yourself invited. Tickets on sale now at adelaidecabaretfestival.com.au.
Over 60% already gone. Get your tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery now. Win the $4.3 million grand prize, a fully furnished Scott Salisbury home in West Beach, including $100,000 cash. Our last lottery sold out early and tickets are already over 60% sold. Get yours now. Life-changing prizes. Life-changing impact. HomeLottery.com.au. Licence M149444.
Bonus gift cards on Google Pixel phones. Now at Harvey Norman. Google Pixel 10a now just $849 plus bonus $100 gift card. Save $400 on the Pixel 10 Pro. Now $1,297 plus bonus $150 gift card. Or upgrade to the Pixel 10 Pro Fold and save $700. Now $1,997 with bonus $200 gift card. Save $100 on Google Pixel Watch 4. Now $587 with bonus $50 gift card. Hurry. Ends Monday at Harvey Norman. Conditions apply.
Knock down, build two with Metro Homes. Move into one and keep the other as an investment. Metro Homes, they do it all for you.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FiveAA Breakfast.
6 to 9, we're going to meet Trey Friday winner to announce in just a moment. A fuel watch first. It's better to be a member with RAA Road Service. The two cheap spots this morning, the BPX Convenience at Jeps Cross. Cheapest unleaded there, $1.71.5. That's really good. If you're looking for cheap diesel, the United at Henley Beach is at $2.29.9. Big thanks to Gramazio Foods for providing the meat tray this morning. SA's only celiac certified butcher, Burnside Village, Golden Grove Village, and online at gramaziofoods.com.au. They do a great job.
Yeah, their stuff's terrific. They kindly dropped us off a meat tray that we shared a couple of months ago.
Amazing.
We had a whole bunch of mates here ahead of the Chapel Roan concert, so we had a massive barbecue that night and then wandered down to the showgrounds. It was great. What a night that was.
So who wins
the old Pink Pony Club for you, Will?
We can't give away Chapel Roan tickets, but we can give away them. We can recreate the meat.
We can. How about our good mate Rob in Somerton Park?
Yeah, I like that.
The curry story, that was great.
It was fantastic.
It was a lot of fun.
You can't have a meal without potatoes.
Yeah, that's right.
Something his mother taught him.
Exactly.
Rob, you've got that Gramazio Foods meat tray coming your way.
A big happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there.
Absolutely. Should we count down the top 5 moments of the week?
Well, let's do it.
It's been the top 5 of the week.
All right, 5th spot. Sorry, we said it, brother. It's worth watching the YouTube live stream during the morning because we had a very dramatic debate about Olympic sports.
Will pared back the Olympics to just 12 sports.
I reckon I could get it back to a good dozen.
We said get rid of swimming, and he said everything but freestyle.
Everything. Well, I'm serious. The shark's coming after you. What are you doing? Butterfly? Breaststroke? Someone snipped. I've seen there's a version of that that's been snipped up of the live stream of me doing my impersonation of breaststroke.
It needed the video with it,
which no, you don't try and find. The number 4 spot, Robert and Seaton. Good morning.
Namaste, my friends. I like movies, and it being Star Wars Day. Well, what do you think of this?
Robert. Unbelievable. I must
bit
confess.
Of smoke on the water, bit of come on Aussie. How good's that? I didn't see that one coming.
For a brief moment, I thought I was having a seizure, and it was just Robert playing the piano accordion unexpectedly on the radio. I did not see that coming. Twists and turns this morning, David. Robert, thank you. Number 4 spot, Rob called in and just started randomly playing his piano accordion, which was just superb. In the number 3 spot.
This morning I was driving towards our first cross for sunrise when it absolutely all kicked off. The middle of Marion Road at West Richmond, a Holden Commodore pulled into the middle of the intersection, and I'm thinking, well, hang on, what's going on here, pal?
Tom Wren, an impressive comeback last night.
They've been amazing, haven't they, pal?
Port hit the field tonight, of course. What's going on here, pal? Well, I'm sure a lot of pundits are saying, Tom Wren, what's going on here, pal?
I think Jonathan Edwards started something this morning. A lot of power behaviour in the newsroom. He inspired it with that terrific report he did actually on the shop being robbed on Marion Road. You're going to see that vision tonight on 7, by the way. It's extraordinary.
Power's the new champ.
Yeah, it's a bit aggressive, isn't it?
Don't champ anyone.
Number 2. I've got a feeling we may have even played a bit of that rap song on air when it was a very, very short snippet when it was in the news cycle.
Yes, and she's no Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott? That's her name, isn't it? What's that song? Reverse it. Put my thing down, flick it and reverse it. Yes, that's it. Okay.
Well, and actually, that's actually
sorted out.
Scott's.
Yeah, different. Yeah. It's the one that is backwards. Yeah.
The best part about that was David pretending he didn't know Missy Elliott's name because he knew the lyrics perfectly.
I've got the album.
The number 1 spot of the week.
Is it worth it? Let me work it.
Put my thing down, flick it and reverse it. Yeah, different. Yeah.
It's your primitive plan yet. If you got a big
that was all right.
Search it to find out how hard I gotta work. Yeah, it's your primitive plan yet.
That was haunting. Oh my goodness. To borrow a line from Scott and Mobry, it was like Missy Elliott was right in front of you, Will.
It really was.
Quick, let's change the subject.
That was the least cool Missy Elliott's ever been sung along on FiveAA in Adelaide.
56-year-old white man from Australia.
She might walk away from music after that. Our number 1 spot of the week was Missy Elliott's worst moment of the week. The version you heard on FiveAA as performed by David Penberthy.
Yeah.
Mr.
I don't know if I've got a career in hip-hop ahead of me after that.
I wouldn't have thought. No, that's all right. This one's going all right for you.
What would Chuck D say about that?
Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. Have a terrific weekend, and we'll catch you Monday.